What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good to have you all here on this lovely Monday night. RPG night? TT RPG night, I should say, is back. It's back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen. For tonight is episode 1 of Star Wars Shattered Frontiers. Cool. Yeah, as you guys know, we took a little break from TTRPG night for a few weeks. Maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks. Can't remember. It's been a while, though. After, I think maybe even longer. Shit, it's been like 2 months. But, yeah, Styx had to end Reign of Tyranny, our last Star Wars RPG campaign, because he is now a restaurant owner. And apparently when you own your own restaurant and you're a business owner and you have to take care of logistics and ordering stuff and menus and staffing and paying people money and getting investors and signing leases and documents and all that fun shit with lawyers and the previous owner, apparently it takes up a lot of time. Who knew? Who knew? Well, Styx knew. That's why he ended the campaign. But I decided it was probably a good idea if I took on responsibilities as the GM. I have never been a GM before. I have DM'd one shot ever. And that was back in 2014. So it's been 9 years, which is fucking crazy. Kind of wild to think about it, actually. And that was an in-person game with a few friends in San Francisco. And the reason why I had to quit is because I started my job at Twitch and I was just so goddamn busy that I didn't have the time. I couldn't do it. It was too much effort and prep and work to run a campaign and start a job at Twitch as someone who had never had a real job before outside of the military. So it was a challenge for me. So I had to quit after one session, but Eric took over, so it was fine. You guys know him, Invisible Gentleman in chat. But anyway, we're back with TTRPG night. We're back with Star Wars RPG. And this time, I'm running the show. I hope it doesn't suck. You never know. It could be awful. It could be juvenile and generic compared to Styx. I hope that's not the case. We'll find out. I do plan on just tiptoeing my way into this new experience. So it'll start kind of simple. And as I get my sea legs, or my space legs, I guess I should say, I will up the ante and get better, and the story will improve, and the prep will get better. You guys know how it goes. Just got to ease my way into the GM swimming pool. That being said, cheers to all of you. Thanks for being here for episode 1 of Shattered Frontiers. Cheers. Good to have you all here. Ah, delicious. Nice little Lucy Zinfandel from Truetthurst in Sonoma. Delightful. Let's say hi to the boys, shall we? Boys.
Ah!
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Scared me.
keep it secret. Keep it safe. What's going on?
That's not spoilers. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
I was
what happens when Gandalf hits the helium pipe. What's going on, dudes? What's going on?
Much.
Not much. We're chilling. We're just having a little conversation, reminiscing.
What are you reminiscing about?
The last campaign.
Rest
Coolest
in
moments
peace.
of the last campaign.
Rest in peace, ROT. Rot.
Yeah.
SW Rot. Reign of
If
Tyranny.
you will.
Just talking about some of some good moments. You know, Sears secret meetings.
And
You know,
Ellis
Ellis is
murdering
murdering
doctors.
It was actually so nice going back and watching the episodes where he had those secret meetings and finally listening to what he had to actually say and what kind of conversation you guys were having, because I was a good little boy, and I did not cheat. I did not look or listen at
Did you-
all while the campaign was running.
Same.
I don't think anybody did. Well,
No.
anyway.
I think we all
yeah,
did
I don't-
well. Like I liked that those little subplots were going.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
feel more organic, yeah.
Absolutely. It was a good campaign. You're a damn good GM,
Mhm.
Sticks. I hope I can follow in your footsteps properly.
You'll be fine.
Fine.
Oh shit.
It will be great. Everything will be fine. Let's check audio levels. Al, will you count to 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Rival?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good job, teacher.
Wow.
Walter?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sticks?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Great show off.
You're that kid in class. The teacher
Nah,
would be
it's
like,
one of the
"All right,
it's
children,
one of
say
3
present
languages
if
I
you're
can
here."
count to 5 in.
the teacher would be like, say present if you're here. And then to get the Sticks, you'd be like, what up?
Present? It'd be the Mr.
Present.
Garvey's. Yeah, exactly. Timothy, present. Thank you.
Boris says, first turn, everyone finds out they're a ghost. Exactly. That is the angle I'm taking. Actually, it is a party of space whales. Korak said, who invited the literal space demon?
No, that's my friend Dave.
No, that's you.
No,
That's you.
Horak is Dave.
You look like a space demon is what he's saying,
Oh.
I think.
No.
Korak,
red
you're
man.
referring to Nazar, right?
Yeah, you're talking about the red
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or Schnez looks kind of funny.
Mm,
Leave Schnez
the
alone.
red man. I don't know.
That's
Oh, the
actually his real
space
name is
demon.
Redman. And
I'm
Schnez
part
is
of
Method Man.
a special guild called the Wu-Tang Clan.
Nice. Nice.
I heard they're nothing to fuck with. I also hear that
evidently,
they're for the children, so I'm confused.
there's no children to fuck with. You know,
Yeah, right.
they're just trying to. They need to combine this too.
What the fuck?
That's right.
What's
Well,
up, Mr.
I told them
Spacely?
very basic.
Mr. Spacely, chat, everyone, hello. Thanks for coming. Boys,
Hello.
cheers to you guys. It's episode 1
Cheers.
of Shattered Frontiers, Star Wars RPG night. Cheers, we're back. It's going to be
Better
fun.
than ever.
It's going to be great. I'm excited.
Cheers.
What's the most noticeable shakeup, Soma? Why don't you tell them?
What are you talking about?
The fact that I'm not the DM anymore.
Oh, yeah, we already talked about that before I jumped
Okay,
into
good.
Discord.
Well,
Okay.
We covered that.
Cool.
So, we typically go around the room and ask how everyone's doing. Walter, how the fuck are you, sir?
I'm good. It's been busy. I've been taking care of our little puppy who got fixed last week, so it's been a bunch of sleepless nights trying to make sure she doesn't tear her stitches and stuff.
Aw. Poor little puppy. But probably a good move. Well done.
Yes.
Morton Salt, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, just chilling. Nothing really new with me. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I don't sound exciting, but I am excited to play this game and you know, you guys to meet my dandy of a character.
Beautiful. Rival, how are you?
I'm okay. I had a migraine all day, but I don't have one anymore, so
And that's what
I'm
matters.
lit. Yeah, it's great.
What'd you do to get rid of it?
Um,
Dabs?
I waited anxiously,
Oh,
and I took a fistful of medicine.
Yes.
you drinking water?
Yes, I drink a lot of water.
Good.
Yes.
Good man. Sticks, how are you?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay. How's the restaurant?
It's above water, which is good. Both financially and physically. That's also good too.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's going fine.
Excellent.
Excited to have something to do in my off days.
What are you 2 months in, 6 weeks in, something like that?
This is week number 4.
That's crazy.
February's a short month, so it's hard
It's fucking crazy, man. You actually own a restaurant. You talked about that shit for so fucking long. And now here
It's
it is.
crazy. Yeah, it took a year just to get the.
Aren't you happy you didn't move to San Francisco to be a waiter or run a front of house and you took a chance?
My bank account's not that happy about it, but
Oh, that's
yeah,
just for
like
now.
me personally, yeah, sure.
That's just for now. Don't you worry.
Mhm.
Don't you worry.
Restaurants are pretty famous for not having a lot of profit.
True. Well, that's what I've heard anyway. Yeah. In terms of me, I'm excited to also get this game started. It's been a long time coming. I think I've been talking about DMing or GMing for, I don't know, like a year and a half, a year, something like that. We've always kind of like joked about it. You guys kind of prodded me about it a little bit, even during Irulan, which ended a long fucking time ago, which is crazy. And here we are. Kind of nuts. In other news, I'm still unemployed, which is great. I kind of love it. Not having a
Enjoy
job. Dude, it's so nice. My job right now is to get up at 6:30 a.m. and go to the gym Monday through Friday. And I'm kind of addicted to it already. It's only been, this is week 3, and I'm already sort of addicted to it. Tomorrow is leg day though. And leg day, I did not stretch properly last week when I did legs. And my calves, I could barely walk down the stairs for like 4 or 5 days. It was terrible. So I gotta relearn how to go to the gym. Yeah. Better see gains in the coming months then. Dude, I hope we see gains in the coming months.
Mad gains.
I reverted to, so we were doing our little vegan challenge in February. And Al and I were basically the only ones that got through without cheating. I
Exploding.
accidentally consumed eggs in some noodle dish that I ordered, even though I ordered a vegan dish. So I don't really count that because I ordered the vegan dish and started eating and realized too late that there was egg in it. But I lost a bunch of weight. I was feeling really good. And I just started going ape shit already in the last less than a week. I've had like doubles at In-N-Out and fucking pizza and sandwiches, and I feel like shit already. I literally watched the weight come back on instantly. How
So
fucking
not
crazy
the
is
Weight
that?
Watchers you thought you were gonna get.
Well, I am watching the weight come back on.
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. But yeah, fuck me. I don't have any choice but to, in my opinion, if I want to not be fat as I get closer to my 40s, go back to a mostly plant-based vegan diet. And then if I do eat meat, I'm not going to have carbs with it. I'm just going to have like veggies and like chicken teriyaki or something
Yeah.
like that.
High protein.
High protein, high veggie, and then
Mhm.
barely any dairy.
Yeah, you should really only have carb heavy dishes when there is no protein. Like making a vegan pasta is sick as fuck because you
That's what I'm
get-
having for dinner later. Crystal made her famous vegan bolognese, and it's goddamn
Nice.
delicious. It tastes.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it tastes like vegan pepperoni, but it doesn't even. You can't even tell it's vegan. It tastes like a pepperoni bolognese, but it's just marinara sauce, and then she bakes chopped up cauliflower and walnuts and uses liquid smoke and spices, and it gets
Yeah.
soft like ground meat, and it's so goddamn good. And it's
That sounds
actually better than a meat bolognese because you can eat just as much as you would with a meat bolognese, but it feels 85% lighter on the gut, and you don't fucking fart it up and feel like you're a slug after.
Yeah, I my vegan pasta is more simple than that. I basically will get my pasta boiling. Like I'll use just like a standard pasta. For my this is a vegetarian pasta, not a vegan one, but you could make it vegan if you got the right ingredients. Then I'll pretty much like dice up some garlic, throw in kale, tomatoes. When my pasta's done, throw it in there and toss it with balsamic and sriracha.
It sounds good.
Which, let me tell you, balsamic and sriracha is the hidden combination that nobody tells you about. That shit is so good together.
That sounds
It sounds awesome.
So yeah, I throw all that in, and then I mix it together, and then if I'm doing it just vegetarian and not vegan, I'll bomb it with a shit ton of Parmesan cheese because yes, I love cheese. But if I wanted to do it vegan, I would either just not put anything on top. I've eaten it like that as well. You could put like extra hot sauce, I guess, if you really want it to be like spicy.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and obviously salt and pepper. I pretty much don't announce those anymore.
God damn it, my fucking throat. I have to talk a lot and my throat's dry. That sounds delicious. Well, boys, how about we jump in to episode 1 and kick things off? What do you guys say?
I'm nervous, but yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm going to do my little title crawl to kick things off.
Sounds good.
The year is 65 ABY. It's been 30 years since the Battle of Exegol shook the galaxy, and just over 80 years since long-forgotten names traversed the galaxy through the reign of tyranny. The Empire and First Order are long extinct. The Republic is a shadow of its former self, after decades of corruption have receded its borders, influence, and dreams of galactic unity. The Sith and Jedi religions are seemingly dead and near forgotten, and those that wield the Force no longer fear for their lives as they once did. A violent, dangerous man wields the Darksaber and is leading a determined, vicious new Mandalorian empire. The Hutts have taken over vast regions of space and become one of the largest threats to galactic democracy. Darkstar, a new crime syndicate, establishing itself across the galaxy, has overtaken the criminal organizations of old. A mysterious and potentially dangerous figure is gaining influence in the Outer Rim as he offers people hope and protection. An age of darkness and lawlessness has spread across the far reaches of known civilization. And though there are many that seek to capitalize on the chaos, there are some that wish to drive it back and establish peace and order. Whichever path our heroes choose to follow is their path and theirs alone in Star Wars: Fractured Frontiers. Hold your applause. Thank you. All right. As you guys can see here, we have the galaxy that we're all used to. Beautiful, beautiful. But wait, there's more. Because there are new borders that make up the galaxy. And I will show you them now. Here you can see where the new borders and lines have been drawn in the galaxy. And I'll explain that now. I think you guys already know, but chat does not. So I'll explain really quick. This blue region here is Republic space. And as you can see, its borders are receding. And as you just heard, there's a lot of corruption, and the Republic is sort of faltering right now. So their borders are receding. To the north, we have the Mandalorian Empire. They are quite dangerous and spreading into wild space and throughout the Outer Rim. To the galactic south, we have the mysterious figure that is strong with the Force, who is carving out his own little slice that offers hope and protection to the people within that region. To the galactic northeast, in this purple region, we have Darkstar space. And this is the new criminal organization that has worked tirelessly for decades to sort of merge and or take over the criminal syndicates and organizations of old to form a new super underworld empire of sorts, consortium. And they are spooky, dangerous folk. That's all I can say about that. This region here, without color, is neutral space. It is contested by all of these other little empires and little regions. And it's either a great place to be or an extremely dangerous place to be, depending on who you ask or where you are located within it. And then this big green empire here is New Hut space. The Huts have essentially taken over a giant swath of the galaxy. They are growing faster than any other faction or empire or group within the galaxy. They have a ton of money, a ton of influence, and they're pretty goddamn scary these days. And this is the galaxy that our players are finding themselves in 30 years after the last Star Wars film, The Rise of Skywalker. So, as you guys know, there's no canon story. There's no future stories written in the Star Wars galaxy or universe that depicts the events of this time frame. I am sort of just doing my own thing and creating my own homebrew Star Wars galaxy and world because I didn't want to rehash old shit. And that's where we are in Shattered Frontiers. Our players find themselves coming from various locations in the galaxy. They're flying into neutral space, and they're approaching the planet of Onderon. Well, they already have, actually. They're already on Onderon. Well, let's take a look at what Onderon looks like. Can you guys see that?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. It's a very beautiful blue planet. You guys know Onderon. It's been in a lot of Star Wars content. It was heavily depicted in Clone Wars. Saga airs from there. You guys know Onderon. It's pretty cool. But anyway, our players have been on Onderon for several hours. And they have arrived at a spaceport called Kasaltu. Kasaltu is a spaceport that is a few miles north of the northern gates of Izes. And Izes is the capital city of Onderon. It is a massive city, about 1,600 square kilometers. It's very easy to get lost in Izes. You can spend your entire life in Izes. It's a very large place. But our players are not even in the city yet. They are actually in a customs office at Kasaltu Spaceport. We'll go there now. And they have been there for several hours. It is now late at night. I forgot to mention Kasaltu Spaceport is actually right off of a lake that is in the jungle that surrounds Izes. So Izes is a big-ass city. Giant swaths of jungle surround it, and there's a big lake. Think like Lake Victoria in Africa or something like that. Or is that where Lake Victoria is? I think it is. Think like a giant freshwater lake. And the jungle in this spaceport is built right on the edge of that lake. Our players have all been taken into interview rooms, holding cells, however you want to look at it. And they have been eagerly awaiting a customs officer or someone to come in and speak to them. And for some reason, it is taking several more hours than normal. And that is where we will start. So, let me see here. Get my little notes out. We start with Schnezlek. He's sitting in a holding cell, sort of in interrogation interview room. And he notices a little bit of blood against one of the walls, a bit of a smear. It kind of smells like stale piss. And it's a little humid in the room. And he's been in there for about 6 hours. And finally, he hears someone come to the door. And in comes a human man Looks just like any other Onderonian citizen. Comes in. He has a clipboard, little data pad, and he scrapes over a chair and he sits in front of Shnez. And he looks at Shnez's face. And Shnez, please, if you wouldn't mind, describe your character. Tell us what he looks like, what he's wearing, all that fun stuff.
Sure. My character is a Kubas, so it wears goggles on anywhere that has a red and yellow sun to protect his eyes from a sensitive vision. It's got a long snout that is used to help eat insects on his home planet of Kubindi.
Yum.
From a clothing and apparel standpoint, he is wearing just kind of some banal apparel, something just kind of blend in a little bit. Big black hooded cloak. He's got dark green skin, and yeah, that's kind of him. That doesn't show a lot of skin in this scenario. He's kind of covered up in most ways.
All right. The man speaks to you and he says, sorry about the wait. Shnezlek, we know who you are. You're a registered bounty hunter. Welcome to Onderon, I guess. I'm assuming you're trying to get to ISIS, yeah?
That's correct.
I can make some assumptions on why you're here, but why don't you tell me? And he kind of leans back in his chair, looks at you.
What kind of assumptions are you looking for? I'm here on a job, trying to track down some debts that my employer is owed.
Well, you just verified my assumptions. You're not going to be causing any trouble, are you?
As little as possible.
Well, you may or may not know, but we've had a lot of issues. Be it that Onderon is smack in the middle of neutral space. A lot of new, fresh gang violence. A lot of seedy types. And unfortunately, a lot of gang warfare. Gangs that weren't even here a year ago. In fact, that's why you're in this room. For as many hours as you have been. For the first time ever, we just had a violent outburst outside of Kasaltu fucking station. It never leaves the city. Now it's spilling into the jungle. It's spilling into Kasaltu. We thought we had a secure space station or spaceport here. Looks like we were wrong. In fact, there's been violent outbursts at least 1 or 2 a week for a few months now. So, I'm hopeful that you're here to maybe, potentially, hopefully, get rid of at least 1 or 2 of those low-life scum that are ruining my fine city.
My hope is to do just that. Eliminate some of the scum that is causing these problems for you, assuming that Matt is who I'm after.
Kind of just cocks an eyebrow and leans back. Takes a deep breath. All right, you've been in here long enough. There's a shuttle waiting outside. Go ahead and wait there. There's a few other folks that need to jump in the shuttle too. The trains, unfortunately, are shut down right now because of some explosives that were close to the track. No one died. Nothing exploded, but we can't risk running them right now. Not with all that bullshit happening outside. So if you could just be patient. I know you already have been. But if you could be a little more patient, we'll get you to the city soon enough.
Understood. No inconvenience.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And he kind of gets up, gives you a nod, opens the door, and gestures for you to walk down a hallway toward a door that leads outside. And you see down the hall and outside the door a speeder and another human man sort of just sitting there smoking a cigarette, a space cigarette, I guess, waiting for the folks that he'll be ferrying into the city to arrive. Okay. The man walks down the hallway, gives another room a knock on the door, steps in, and he sees a man a blue man, young, pretty good looking, sitting in his chair. He comes in, closes the door, and he is looking in to the face of Al's character. Al, do you want to describe your character, what you're wearing, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, my character is Pentoran, blue skin, like blonde hair, yellow eyes. He has some face tattoos. He's just wearing like some casual but very well created clothing, like a nice leather jacket, and some good knee length boots. And he's kind of just relaxing, like very calm, just relaxing. And the moment that he sees the person, he just goes, "Darling, oh, welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to get a thorough viewing of the most decadent holding cell in all of Onderon."
The man kind of just stares at you for a second. He looks around and he says, "Lucky for you, you actually did get the cleanest holding cell. You should have seen the last one."
Well, of course I did. I'm me. Why wouldn't I get the cleanest?
I'm me. Well, before we get to who you really are, sorry about the wait. There's been a bit of an incident outside of our little spaceport here.
Oh no, no trouble at all on my part. Is everyone okay?
Honestly, no. That's why we had to sort of stop a few random individuals like yourself. Don't worry, you're not.
Oh, I'm not random. I'm here on holiday. Of course.
Well, you were randomly chosen to be sitting in this interrogation room. We don't see many Pantoran around here. You say you're on vacation. He kind of sits down, takes out his data pad, kind of scratches his chin for a second.
Yes, I'm here to see your mountains, your forests, your lakes, oceans, whatever it is that you have here that's pleasant.
He laughs and he says, "Something tells me you wouldn't last very long outside of Isis. I'm assuming you want to go to the city, but if you really think you're going to traverse the jungle," and he kind of looks you up and down, cocks an eyebrow, and he says, "you wouldn't last 5 minutes."
Oh, I'm sure I can find somebody that's lovely that would be willing to take me. I mean, most people seem to find me charming.
He kind of laughs again, gives himself a little chuckle, and he says, "You really don't know how this place operates, do you?"
Oh, darling, I know how I operate, and most things operate around me, so I think I'll be all right. Now, do I get to leave soon, or do you bring me a beverage and a meal, or how does this work? Do I check in with the concierge?
He shakes his head and he says, "Give me your name."
Oh, of course. I'm Delrin Tenro.
Okay, kind of types something into his data pad. "And how long do you plan on staying here?"
I don't know. How long is it to take in all of the sights?
All of the sites? Well, you could spend a year in Isis before you see everything, and if you really plan on leaving the city gates, you'll have to pay a pretty penny. I hope you have a large stack of credits to convince someone to take you outside the walls. I don't know, a whole lifetime?
Well, or maybe a couple of weeks then.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. Very well, you seem harmless enough. If you really do leave the gates, though, and you go beyond the walls of the city, please don't get yourself killed. It makes us look bad when tourists die. Yes?
Oh, wouldn't dream of it. Where's a good place to get a drink?
Well,
Where would you go?
I typically get off work and drink here at Casaltu Station and sleep in the office.
Well, that's a sad existence.
When you say that, he kind of just shakes his head and he's like, "All right, rich kid, let's get you the fuck out of here." And he stands up and he says, "I wish you the best of luck. There's a speeder waiting for you at the end of the hall. Please be patient. There are a couple of other passengers that will be joining you. You would be taking the train normally, but they're not running at the moment."
Oh, that's fine. Is the train a must though? I really want to make sure that I have all the exciting details for my trip. So maybe I'll have to come back and take it another day.
Have you been on a train before?
Yeah, of course.
You're not missing much. And then he kind of shoos you out of the door.
Well, you have an excellent evening, darling.
He kind of just grunts at you and like gives like a half fake smile. Kind of shakes his head as you walk away. He watches you walk outside and approach the speeder, and then he
Of course he watches me.
he walks down the hall to another room. He gives the room door a couple of knocks, and he opens it up. And inside, he sees a human male sitting in his chair waiting. Rival, please describe your character in detail, what you look like, what you're wearing, all that fun stuff.
Gideon is on the taller end. It's about 6'5". He's he's pretty built, like pretty muscular, and has red hair and green eyes. And he's dressed to be pretty casual, pretty neutral colors, as if to be able to blend in with common citizens if he were to need to.
Okay, all right. The man walks in. He closes the door. He sits down in his chair, takes out his data pad, and he says, "All right, sorry about the wait. It's been a long night. We had some problems outside of the spaceport and along the train that runs into the city. Didn't mean to keep you waiting. Thank you for your patience."
It's fine. What kind of problems?
Kind of cocks an eyebrow and he says, well, we've had some extreme gang violence that has spilled out of the city. Actually never happens. This is the first incident in a long time that has occurred at the spaceport. But don't worry about it. It's fine. We have it under control. That's why I'm sitting here in front of you, actually. I know you've been waiting for hours. Let's just get this over with. What is your name, and why the hell are you here on Onderon?
The name is Gideon. I'm here just visiting family, actually.
Family? He kind of cocks an eyebrow. Who is the family, and where do they live?
Family is a interesting way to put it. This is where my mother grew up. At least that's what she told me. I'm here to visit her grave, rather. It's within the city.
Whenever you say that, he kind of feels bad that he kind of pushed the question, and he says, I'm sorry about your loss. How long do you plan on staying in Isis, Gideon?
Only a few days if things go my way, but it sounds like you guys might have your hands full. I might be able to offer some assistance after I handle my personal matters.
A stranger coming in from outside of Onderon offering help. You don't hear or see that every day. And why would you be willing to risk your life in the streets of Isis to help us? Makes no sense.
I don't appreciate seeing citizens being bullied, especially by gangs.
Well,
but if you don't want my help, I'm happy to just pass through. I don't need to stir things up.
You might not even have a choice. The gangs that have taken up shop in Isis are ripe for the picking, if I may. If you really do want to help, I'm sure you'll get your chance, especially if you go out after curfew, which, unfortunately for you, or maybe fortunately, we're in the midst of right now. It's very late outside, and I'm getting reports that there's even attacks within the city walls right now. But you'll be able to handle yourself just fine, it looks like. That, and we don't want to keep anyone here overnight any longer than we have to. We do like to take breaks occasionally. Kind of looks you over. And because you're offering your help, may I ask, what do you do for a living, Gideon?
I'm I don't call myself a bounty hunter, but I tend to be doing that more often nowadays. So we'll say I'm a bounty hunter.
Ah, a vigilante then.
I like that.
Well, there used to be no place for vigilantes in our city, but nowadays, he kind of like looks around. He looks up at a camera that's in the corner of the room near the ceiling. Nowadays, we don't mind so much. As long as you really are trying to defend the people of this city, that is. But alas, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm sure you want to get the hell out of this room. You've been in here about 7 hours now. So thanks for your patience, Gideon. There is a speeder waiting for you at the end of the hall. There's a couple of other passengers going into Isis, and if you would be so kind as to be a little more patient, there's just one more passenger that will be going into the city with you.
Yes, sir. I get up and start making my way out.
And he opens the door, lets you go, gives you a nod, and he waits for you to exit the hallway and go outside into the speeder. Then he walks down the hall, kind of clears his throat, takes a deep breath, lets it out, and he opens the final door. And he closes it, turns around, and he stares into the face of Styx's character who's sitting in his chair. Styx, please describe your character, what you're wearing, all that fun stuff. Styx?
Yeah, I'm muted. 1 second. I'm here.
No
I
problem.
promise. Nazar is a Sith pureblood, which is actually not really a pureblood of anything. It's a hybrid, Sith and humans. So suffice it to say, there aren't a lot of his kind around, but he has red skin, piercing yellow eyes, slicked back black hair. His face has a lot of cranial ridges and stuff like that all over it. And he is wearing sort of black standard galactic clothing. It's nothing really too stand outish, if anything. Very common sort of clothing with a big overcloak and stuff like that. But he's just standing. When the guy enters the room, he's probably like in his chair, leaning it back with like his feet or shins up against the side of the table. And he's just sitting there with his other hand like tapping on the table.
Okay. The customs officer kind of eyes you warily. He pulls up a chair, sits in it, pulls out his data pad. See him click a couple of things and cock an eyebrow as he looks at it. When he looks up and he says, thanks for your patience.
He stares directly back at you, leans back in his chair twice, like rocks back twice more, and then lets the chair fall to the floor with a thud as he sits back down and puts his hands together in front of him on the table.
Sorry about the wait. There's been some random individuals pulled into our interrogation rooms, and you were flagged. You've been here about 8 hours now. 7 hours or so. I know you're eager to leave, but I'll be quite frank with you. You out of everyone else were a little less random. Quite frankly, no one in the office knows what the hell you are. So if you wouldn't mind, can you please tell us, and he looks up at the camera and looks back at you, where you're coming from, what your name is? Thanks.
He leans forward and says, "My name is Nazar, and I am from the planet of Thule. Don't bother looking for it, it's not on any of your charts. The reason you haven't seen people like me is because we were cut off from the galaxy a while ago. But fortune smiled upon me and brought with me a means to leave my isolated planet. And when I saw the list of destinations, yours seemed the most exciting." And he leans back and smiles.
He kind of gives like a nervous laugh and clears his throat and he says, Onderon seemed exciting to you. And why is that?
Oh, there's much history here. Much culture. Things to see. Isis is one of the great cities of the galaxy, is it not?
Some would say that, yes. Looks down at his data pad, kind of clicks a couple of things, and he looks back up and he says, so why are you really here? And how long do you plan on staying, I'm assuming, in Isis?
Not more than a fortnight, I assure you. I just wish to see a grand city, for once. That isn't falling apart in an utter ruin.
Are those the states of the cities on your planet of Thule?
These days, yes.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why you've been in here for so many hours is because there's been some violent outbursts. The state of the galaxy, if you're saying that you really are, or have been isolated, is in a bit of a state of disorder. Onderon is smack in the middle of neutral space, and, well, there's a lot of riffraff and trash that has started arriving. Hence more random inspections, random stops, tightened security, customs here at Casaltu before people are even allowed into Isis. Well, non-citizens anyway. And we see people we don't know or understand and we get a little nervous. I know it's a wrong way to think, but surely you can understand.
Yes, of course. We could all do with a little more order in our lives, I think, yes.
Ah, here. Well, Nazar, you won't be causing any trouble or adding to the violence, will you?
Not unless it comes seeking me first.
And he kind of clicks a couple more things on his data pad and looks up at you, cocks an eyebrow, and he says, well, you seem fine enough, I suppose. And he looks up at the camera and he gives a thumbs up. And he looks at his data pad and waits about 15 seconds. You see a little flash of light on the data pad reflect on his face just for a split second. He looks up and he smiles. He says, well, Nazar, you're free to go. There is a speeder at the end of the hall. Step outside, hop in, and one of our customs officers will drive you in Isis. Typically, you'd be taking a train, but due to some issues, and because the curfew is in effect, we'll have to drive you in. No trains. Sorry.
As you finish that sentence, he's already walking straight past you down the hallway.
The guy just kind of shakes his head and schluffs you off. And he closes the door to the interrogation room and sort of walks to like a command center room or like a break room. And you guys walk outside, or you walk outside and you see this speeder. You guys can see that, I hope.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
good. Yeah.
Excellent. You see a man with blue flesh, a Pantoran, sitting in the passenger seat, kind of just relaxing. You see a human sitting behind him and a Kubaz sitting behind the driver's side seat. And you walk up, and in the driver's seat, you see another sort of young human male who looks slightly nervous. He looks like he's probably new to the job. And he looks like he does not want to be driving a speeder at night outside of the walls of Isis. Let's just put it that way. I'm assuming you probably get in. Do you guys talk about the seating arrangement? I'll let you guys kind of talk for a second.
Dell is just simply chatting to the driver about random nonsense, and comes out with the if you get me a fuzzy tauntaun in 10 minutes, I'll be onto you in no time. Get it? Onto you. I'm fucking hysterical.
The driver kind of side eyes you. He looks over and he's like, "Yes, very well." And he motions for Nazar to jump in.
I look at Gideon, who's sitting behind the driver, and I say, "Well, move over,"
He's sitting behind the passenger.
Yeah.
or whatever. I approach the side that he's on.
Yeah. God,
Just like,
is anybody next to me? Because I push them over all the way. if
No,
they
the
are.
middle seat in the back is open.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I scoot over.
I open the door and I sit down. And I said, "What a dreadful waste of time that was."
The man goes to turn on the speeder, and it kind of sputters, actually. It doesn't start up, and he looks very frustrated, and he says, excuse me. I got to fix this beater before we get going.
Is this the best that your government has to offer?
Surprisingly, I think it might be.
The man kind of blushes.
Those are face palms.
Yeah, the man kind of blushes, and he says, just a moment, sorry.
No,
And he,
no. The longer you take, the longer I'm away from a drink. This will not do. It's already been several hours.
Well, it's curfew. You can probably not even get a drink anyway. Everyone will be inside. And he...
What?
Curfew, what is this, a boarding academy?
Ugh.
Silly.
He
Just
opens the
these
door and
people
he...
just have no idea how to treat guests.
He opens the
Clearly
door
not.
and he scurries away to grab some tools. Comes back about, I don't know, 90 seconds, 2 minutes later. Pops open the hood. It'll just be a minute. And he tinkers away. I don't know if you guys want to converse among yourselves, but now's your chance.
No, I think Nazar just loudly talks shit about the incompetent driver the entire time. Like, yeah.
Dell is shaking his head and adding to the shit talking.
And Gideon is just watching this Dell because he doesn't know who the fuck this guy is.
Oh my
He's just watching him.
Yeah,
The
just
driver-
calling him- yeah.
what do you
like
say
an
about the driver?
I'm just like, incompetent children running their government services. No wonder this planet's gone to hell.
No wonder we had to wait 7 hours in holding cells.
7 hours. It's preposterous. It's
We
insane.
can't even get enough personnel here to escort dignitaries such as myself.
He
My goodness.
he slams down the hood and he's red-faced. He's kind of shaken. And he says, it's not my fault. The speeders don't work, okay? I don't run the show. I just started 4 weeks ago. And look, I'm the incompetent one that just fixed the speeder. And he jumps into the driver's seat, turns it on, and it turns on without issue. And he kind of
And-
looks over his shoulder and he kind of smirks.
Look at
I
that.
lean over toward him, and I get right behind the driver's seat headrest, and I whisper in his ears, and I'm saying, "You're going to have a tougher skin. You're going to need a tougher skin than that if you're going to survive in this galaxy. But for your troubles anyway." And I slide him 5 credits.
When you slide him 5 credits, he's very surprised, and he kind of straightens his collar, and he says, "Oh, thank you, sir." And he
I say, "Shut up and drive." I lean back.
and that's exactly what he does. He shuts up and he starts to drive. They get up to a gate. He slows down. The gate guard sort of waves him on, and the gate opens up. And you guys start off on a 4.5 mile drive through sort of a nice paved road, but it is in the middle of the jungle. And it's pretty well lit, though at some parts the lights have gone out. And every time the driver approaches a stretch of the road in the jungle where there's no lights, he guns it. He absolutely floors it, and he is white knuckling the steering wheel as he drives through the dark.
Well, that's one way to drive, I suppose.
Yeah, you don't want to slow down around here, especially in the dark. He gives like a nervous laugh.
What do you know?
Why is that?
Yes, what can you tell us about these gangs?
I certainly hope you're not just afraid of the dark.
He laughs again. He says, "I'm not worried about gangs. I'm worried about the jungle and what lives in it." And he doesn't say anything else, and he guns it again through a dark patch.
Gideon just looks out the window.
Nazar
from here on
leans
out.
back. Azar like sinks back in your seat when the speed picks up.
So, about 15 minutes later, so not even 15, less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes later, you guys see a well-lit city wall ahead of you. And I know it's daylight in this image, but it is nighttime. It's very late. It's probably around 3 in the morning, something like that. And you guys are approaching the walls of Isis. If you see the little gate here with the force field, you guys are approaching that gate. And I know that the city looks kind of small in this image. This is an image just taken from the internet, obviously. The city is way larger than what you're seeing here, like a lot bigger. Like I said earlier, it is 1,600 square kilometers surrounded by jungle. And of course, Kasaltu Station is right on the edge of the lake, the giant lake, freshwater lake that is also surrounded by jungle. So you guys approach the gate. He speeds up to it and he slows down, pulls up to the gate, and he gets on comms. You hear him sort of mumbling. You guys wait about, 30, 40 seconds. The force field drops, and you cruise into Isis.
Nice.
He drives through the city, and you guys can see that it is quite a beautiful city. It's relatively clean. There is no one outside. Like nobody at all. No guards, no citizens, no homeless people. You don't even see any stray animals. Like it's kind of creepy and it's pretty quiet. And as you guys get a little ways into the city, in the distance, you hear what sounds like blaster fire and yelling. The driver sort of looks over his shoulder. He says, shit. I heard on comms that there might be issues. Seems like there is. Look, they don't issue me a blast or anything. I'm just a customs guy. I'm going to get you guys as close as I can to where I'm supposed to drop you off, but after that, you're on your own. And he drives.
No.
How
We are your
dreadfully
charges.
exciting.
No. We are your charges. You'll take us exactly where we need to go. That is your duty.
What's wrong, little one? Scared?
I chuckle.
No, I just think everyone should do their jobs, and this is his job.
He starts speeding through the city, and he just shakes his head and he says, I wish you guys weren't cleared to come into this city. You're a bunch of jerks. And he speeds up, and he gets close as possible to what sounds like yelling and blaster fire. And he says, all right, out. This is as far as I go. I'm out of here. And he ushers you guys out of the vehicle.
Yeah, getting gets out, no issue.
Yeah, I get out, no issue.
All right, does everyone get out?
I actually, not only do I get out, but if I'm hearing blaster fire and screaming, I want to have my weapon at the ready if I have it.
Okay.
Gideon's not unsheathing. He's just out.
I have my hand on it. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
drawn a weapon,
Yeah,
but I am like, moving my cloak away from my sword side, getting ready if I have to. Someone comes ripping around the corner.
So as we're all getting out, Schnaz is gonna kind of look at Gideon a little bit closer and kind of lean in, so not everybody can hear him. But
Excuse me, your name is Gideon, is it not?
Yes.
I
Why?
thought you looked familiar. I don't know if you'll remember me or not, but we were on a transport together a long time ago. You gave me some advice, which I have taken to heart.
Oh, Schnez, it is you.
As you
How
guys are
have you been?
conversing, a stray blaster bolt strikes the second story of a house, and a spray of sparks hits the wall and sort of showers down, not on you guys, but about, 20, 30 feet away. The driver says, out now.
Dell's throwing up his hands. This is completely unacceptable. I need your name and your supervisor's name.
Gideon starts walking around Dell's side of the car while he's arguing. By the way.
Are you guys
I have
all out?
already left. I've already left the car.
Yeah. I'm
My
just walking
hand
around to
is
his side of the car.
on my weapon hilt. at this
Shnez, you
point.
out?
Yeah, he's out. Kind of like ducked down behind the car a little bit as the sparks were flying.
Without a word, the driver speeds off and he disappears into the night. And just a block or 2 or 3 away, you guys hear some loud commotion on the night streets of Isis.
Well,
And you
now
guys-
we shall see if we are tested in battle, shall we?
Why would we
Alright.
see that?
Well,
It makes no sense.
What do you mean?
I suppose you are the kind of person who would have someone else fight for them.
You
Oh.
are scared.
What is there to be scared of? I'm not in a fight. I'm so confused. You're literally going to walk in and start a fight with people that are fighting other people for no reason?
Oh no, I simply want to see what's happening. It's very entertaining. Have you never watched animals fight in the arena, for instances? Or maybe other people. I don't know what your customs are.
My customs aren't to run headlong into danger for no reason.
Oh, now, I'll protect you.
Of course, of course.
As you
Just
guys
like
are,
our fearless god who just drove off like a coward.
Did
As
you
you-
see who I travel with? And I pat Gideon on the shoulder.
I side eye you.
as you guys are
Gideon's like
conversing,
standing there built like Dave Bautista home.
as you guys are conversing, you hear sort of a loud grunt, like a painful grunt and groan, and you hear 2 men talking down the alley in the other road on the other side of this building you guys have been let out at. You can't really make out the words, but you can tell, all of you can tell, that there is someone in pain. You guys can, hear relatively well that there is a couple of people over there. One of them's in pain.
How far away does it sound from us?
Just on the other side of the building, like across the street, like relatively close. The guy is relatively loud, kind of crying out in pain.
Does the blaster fire sound farther away than the people talking?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to turn to everyone and say, it seems as though there are others nearby. Maybe they will have some more information for us about what's happening.
Sounds like they're dying, Nazar.
Well, we better get that info now then.
Is the blaster fire constant or is it just kind of occasional?
It is an erratic back and forth volley. And
Okay.
in the distance, you can hear multiple people yelling, sort of past the individuals that you hear on the other side of this building.
I think,
Gideon's gonna like lean around this corner and look. Does he say anything? He's not trying to be sneaky or anything. He's just leaning.
Yes. So up ahead, no roll needed. You
Okay.
look past this building and you see what looks like an older gentleman sort of hunched over a man that is sitting on a stoop, sort of leaned back. He's got his hand gripping the stairs, and you can see that he's sort of, you can barely make him out actually, but you can see that there's a man sitting there and there's another man not looking at you, tending to this other individual, and you can't tell if there's anyone else there.
Right. I'm gonna look and just
Gideon, what do you see?
I'm gonna look and just motion that there's 2.
Well, what shall we do?
Gideon looks to you guys. If you want me to
You
walk
know-
over there, I will. But
Cornering a wounded animal is not wise, Gideon. Not without notice.
yes.
Allow me. I'll go and I'll talk to them. I guess if this is the course that I'm set upon, maybe they'll know of a way out of here.
Indeed.
Just know I have your back.
I don't
Yes,
think
yes,
that-
you go first.
More confident.
I don't think
And,
it's a good
Del-
idea for us to sit in one alley. I'm going to go the other way and investigate.
Shnez is going to go back around this other way and peek the corner.
You don't see anything there. But the men do see Dell approaching, and you see the man that was hunched over the other suddenly swing towards you with a blaster pointed right towards you, and he says, "Stop
Whoa.
right there."
Listen, we were just dropped off here by Andron Security Services. Just arrived today. I'm just trying to get out of this mess.
You hear another volley of blasters down the street. He says, "Well, you arrived at just the right time. You're probably gonna fucking die, just to let you know." And he says, "Back up, or I will shoot."
Everybody keeps telling me I'm going to die. It's kind of rude. I'd appreciate it if you were just a little bit more curious.
He kind of points the blaster. He looks down at the man next to him, and the man next to him kind of grunts out in pain again. And the man sort of stood up and pointed the blaster at you, quickly bends down, awkwardly holding the blaster at you. And he looks back at the man, looks back at you, and he puts his hand over blaster burn on the man's stomach. And he says, "Well, if you're not one of those gangbangers, maybe you could help me out."
That does look nasty. I have some acquaintances. I don't want you to be alarmed. I can see if any of them know how to treat a wound.
The man kind of shakes his head and he grumbles under his breath and he whispers something to the other man. The other man looks pissed off to you. He looks desperate. And the old man lowers his blaster and he looks at you and he just nods. "Very well, but if you try anything, I'll kill you."
I say if I wanted to try something, it would have already happened, and quicker than he can see, my blaster's out and back in my holster. Like I pull it out, aim it at him, and then put it back in my holster.
As you pull it out and aim it at him, he almost lifts his blaster to fire because he's scared, but he doesn't. He says, "Yeah, whatever. Just help if you're going to help."
Yeah, of course. Oh, Gideon, Nizar,
Yes. What do you want?
there's a wounded gentleman over here. Do either of you any good with that sort of thing?
What kind of wound? Gideon just walks past you.
Blaster.
The guy says, "If you're going to help. We don't have a lot of time here.
Gideon looks it over.
There's a battle occurring just a few feet away if you can hear it." And as he says that, you hear someone cry out in pain in the distance and more blaster fire and sort of intensify.
So as everybody walks down the alley out of his view, Shnez is going to creep up to this next corner and draw his rifle just in case.
Is there, as Gideon's looking over this wound, is there a check to try to mend it?
Yes. It is going to be a 2P. He's got his armor on right now, so it's going to be a 2P 1 black medicine check.
Okay.
First roll of the game, boys.
Here we go.
Success.
Awesome.
Hey,
Maybe we should, for those who have never viewed this system, talk about the funny shapes.
Well, you're the
That'd
best
be
person to do that. Do you want to do it?
Sure, I'll fucking do it. Why not? Anyway, so those of you who never watched Star Wars RPG before or played it, this is a narrative based system for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of crunch to it, but it's very much a narrative based system with narrative based dice. So you don't have numbers on your dice, you have different symbols that correspond to successes and failures. If you look at the first check that was rolled here, you'll see that there's this flashing star symbol as a result. That's a success. If you look up above at the dice pools that were up there, you can see there's this weird wing-shaped symbol on the first dice that has one. That's an advantage, which is like not a success, but a good thing that happens. Or it can be in conjunction with successes. Counterbalancing that are the upside-down triangles on the other dice called failures, which are the opposite of a success, and little hexagon imperial symbol things, which are disadvantages, and those counteract advantages, which is why you see all these shapes, but only one success. So, it's a really fun system. It makes things less black and white with more good thing happened, but bad thing may have happened also, because you can success and disadvantage at the same time, or fail and advantage at the same time. So it's cool.
Thank you, Mr. Sticks. And Walter
welcome.
just pointed out something very important that I fucked up. We did not roll for destiny.
We did not.
Oh
I
yeah.
Okay, let's do
totally
that.
forgot about that. So,
That's okay.
do I need to pull up your sheets, or how does that work on my
No,
end?
we just click the roll destiny thing.
How do I
You
reset
should have.
it?
It's at 0. You should have at the top your own DM dice pool sheet that comes stock with the game.
Where
And
would
from
that be?
there, in your journal, up at the top,
Journal.
should be one that says like /dice pool
Oh,
or something.
yeah, okay.
And
Excellent.
there you can keep track of the destiny and use it for yourself and all that kind of shit. So what we're gonna do is we will all roll destiny.
Okay. Please roll.
Like so.
Shima's whispered
Oh,
instructions.
reset the pool. Sorry, my bad. You do have to reset the pool.
Clear
Okay.
pool. Clicked it.
No.
Okay. There's one last thing we can try. Of course, we're gonna have a little hiccup here. It always happens. Hashtag Soma luck. Anyway,
Hold on. It says add 1 dark side and 1 light side destiny point. Then click the force player update button, and that should clear up the issue. If it's not.
Oh
Working.
yeah. So add 1 and 1 Soma, and then sync the pool with everybody, and then reset the pool. Maybe that'll work.
Okay, and now clear pool. All right, go for it.
There we go.
Nice.
All right.
Nice,
pool
let's
fix.
roll. Look at those light side points.
That's great.
All right,
Okay, we
boys.
got 4 light, 2 dark. How this works, guys, is essentially the dark side points are points that I, the game master, get to use. If I want to give a certain roll a little bit of a boost, I can use the force, use the destiny pool. And I just use that point, and I add essentially a way to bolster my roll and for my favor, whether that be a combat check, a RP check with persuasion or coercion or something like that, or if someone is trying to haggle with me and I really don't want the character to be able to haggle the price of something down, I can just use a destiny point, and it helps me get the roll in my favor. On the other side of the coin, they get light side points. Those are for the players to use. As we use points, if let's say Schnez was going to use a light side point right now, his point would then go into my dark side pool. So the more they use points, the more I get points I can use against them. And if they want to use a light side point against me, and I have a dark side point in my pool, I can also counter it with my own pool and make the roll that much harder.
Yep.
It is a very good idea to save those light side points for clutch moments when you really need them.
Yeah, because basically you can use the points for Destiny to upgrade difficulty or success. So he can even use them against us. Like if I'm trying to attack something, he'd be like, "Nah, I don't want you to be able to hit that easily. I'm going to spend a Destiny point and upgrade the difficulty of that roll or whatever." So it's cool.
Precisely.
Yep.
Spooky.
But we have that now. That's great. Another thing that I forgot to mention at the start of the session is at the end of every session, we're going to do a little poll, and we're going to vote. You guys are going to vote, the audience, on who the MVP of the session was. They can be the MVP due to role play, due to some clutch thing in combat. Maybe they had a badass moment. Maybe they had something super sad or dramatic happen to them. Whatever you guys think, you get to vote on who the MVP is. Whoever wins gets 1 free Destiny point to use during the next session. If they do not use it in that session, it's void. They lose it. But essentially, they get 1 Destiny point that will not affect the pool, and it's free for them, which is pretty cool. And it allows you guys to kind of call out who you guys think kicked ass in the session. I do not qualify as the GM, just the 4 players. that will happen at the end of tonight's session. So pay attention to what's happening with the players, what they're up to, and you guys can vote at the end of the session. Wonderful. Sweet. Cool. All right.
Wow.
Where were we? Oh, yes. So,
Medicine roll.
you got one success on your roll, and you sort of move his armor plate aside, and you apply some pressure. You pull maybe something out of your pouch, and you apply pressure. You sort of fix it up a little bit, clean it off. It takes about a couple of minutes, but you can see that it sort of stops the bleeding in the scorched wound. And the man kind of looks up and he says, "Thanks." And he kind of spits, and he kind of closes his eyes, and he kind of relaxes for a minute. And he grabs the man that is hunched over next to him, and he says, "All right, you're going to have to finish him off. I'm out of this fight." And he kind of closes his eyes and leans back. He looks at the man that was hunched over, kind of stands up, pats his buddy on the shoulder, and he says, "My name's Ollie. Unfortunately, I live around here. And, well, as you guys can tell, we're having some issues with gangbangers. Sounds like it's a Hut gang and a Mando gang, once again encroaching into our city. I'm going to watch this guy. I'm not going to let him die out here. But if you gentlemen really do want to help," and he kind of looks at Gideon and kind of smiles at you, "well, take care of the riffraff." And he crouches back down, has his blaster in his hand, and he looks at his buddy. What do you guys do?
Give me 1 second.
So as Shinez sees Gideon heal him, he's gonna realize the situation's okay and come up and join the group.
Okay.
As you walk up, Ollie kind of grabs his blaster for a second, but he sees that you're not a threat, and he kind of puts it back down.
I was gonna say Dell steps in front and like puts a hand out. He's with us.
Ollie just nods and pulls out like a flask, and he kind of pours a little bit of it into his buddy's mouth, and he says, "This here's Sed. Believe it or not, he's more of a badass than I am."
Is that alcohol?
He takes the flask back and he caps it, and he says, "Maybe," and he puts it in his pocket. And as he says that, you guys hear another loud volley of blaster fire and yelling just on the other side of this building up the street.
Could I toss him, like, I'm imagining Gideon would have like an almost all used up stem. Could I give him that? Just be like, use the rest of this on him.
Yeah.
And Gideon kind of looks towards the group. How do you guys want to deal with these bullies?
He takes the stem and jabs into his buddy's side, and his breathing sort of relaxes a bit, and he opens his eyes and he kind of gives like a weak smile and a thumbs up.
Listen, I'm all fine saving the lives of these rude citizens here. Don't offer us a drink, don't say hello. But getting into a turf war between two gangs seems, I don't know, just unnecessary.
It's not their turf.
Well, they're the ones with the blasters and numbers, so right now it is their turf.
You seem to have a blaster on you. Are you any good shot, or you just do parlor tricks?
Well, I'm pretty good at parties.
Yes, I can imagine.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear someone shout, and you hear a bit of a commotion, and suddenly a blaster bolt comes rocketing toward Nazar.
Okay.
So let's do that now.
Try your luck, asshole. No, I'm just kidding. But also, yeah.
But before we do that, we're going to take our break.
Okay.
We're going to take 10 minutes. We're going to come back at 8:30, and we will finish out the second half of the session. I'm going to go heat up some food because I'm starving. I have not had dinner yet. And I'm going to pour some more vino. But don't go away. See you guys in 10 minutes. We will continue on with episode 1 of Star Wars Shattered Frontiers. What kind of food? Some spaghetti bolognese and some wine. All right. See you guys in 10 minutes. What up? We are back from break. Well, I am anyway. I'm a minute early, but I'm sure the boys will be back any second now. I got my delicious dinner here. Look at this. Look at this delicious pasta with sauce. Oh, it's so good. It's good. As a rule, I try not to eat on cam much because it makes me look like a big fat person. So I try not to very often. Jay, hope you had a good stream. Hope you're doing well, sir. I'm actually surprised you stuck around this long. Most people see role-playing games like this and they're like, oh my god, this is way too nerdy. I gotta go. But a lot of you stuck around. And now we're going to get into the meaty combat section. Hopefully. I mean, they don't actually have to engage in combat. They can just leave. It's up to them. But I know how these guys are. We're probably going to see some fucking fighting go down. Okay. Anyway, you guys are beautiful. Thanks for hanging out. And cheers to all of you. Cheers to you for the raid, Jay and Stonar. You're still here. Cheers to you as well. We just like your goofy face. You know what? I appreciate that. It's very kind words that have emitted from your keyboard, Fizzy. Thank you. Oh, Jay, it's so fun. It's nerdy as fuck, but goddamn, I love this shit. It's so awesome. Glad you like it. All right, let's say hi to the boys. Hello, boys.
What up?
Howdy, howdy.
How was the break?
I got the hiccups because I ate too fast.
I know. I just took a bunch of big bites of pasta, and I felt like my breath get caught in my throat, and I was like, "Oh God, I need to fucking slow down. I don't want to get
You'll die on
hiccups. I know I don't want to get hiccups for the next hour or whatever of the session because that would just be annoying for everybody."
Yes, Tix.
I'll just, you know what my hiccup cure is? You find a spot on the wall that you can just focus on. Like I have like wood paneling in my shitty double wide house. And you find like a knot of the wood and you stare at it for like 5 minutes and just control your breathing and your hiccups are gone.
I hear that if you just think to yourself, "I'm not a fish. I don't live in water. I'm not a fish."
Nope, I already
I'm a human."
hiccuped when you said that. Too late.
No,
Didn't
you
work.
got it. It's like a mantra you have to repeat in your head. "I'm not a fish. I'm a man." Just try it.
Why?
Now you're a man.
Man.
Don't ask questions, rival.
On the run. Fuck yeah.
All right, gentlemen, should we jump back in?
Sure, I'll try not to hiccup. It's already kind of working, so.
Well, I'm eating while we play, so no cam while I eat. You guys know how it goes. Honestly, I don't like having cam on as I'm GMing. I don't mind it as a player, but I'll turn it on sporadically, but for the most part,
There's not. I mean, you could just have a picture of yourself.
that's even weirder.
That is. That seems weird. That seems
You could
odd.
make a VTube avatar.
There you go. Be a VTuber.
If someone
I
can
want-
make me a really cool Star Wars VTuber image, I would try it.
Like Emperor Palpatine. Like whenever
like
you
a-
talk, it's like the Emperor talking.
You gotta be Jar Jar.
Yeah, Darth Jar Jar.
God
Jar
damn,
Jar
I don't want
Jar.
to scare people away.
Me submit a bad girl.
Oh no. Oh no.
Greatest
I
meme.
gotta
Only-
find that
only
meme.
Huts?
Chat, you guys gotta see this. Lisa been a bad girl
It's
meme.
terrible.
This is the best Star Wars meme I've ever seen.
It's so good. It's actually so good.
Terrible.
Chat, look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this.
I'm so sorry.
It's
so good. It's so good.
Oh no! Why? Why?
You know what? Unironically, better than the sequel trilogy. Better love story than
Oh my
Twilight.
God. God damn it, this is just disgusting.
It's fucking terrible.
Misa Benebagger.
Her face
So
in the
good.
background.
Oh,
What if I
yeah.
told you? Lisa being a bad girl.
Oh
The
my
cringe
God.
smile she's doing right now, I can't. With that
Imagine-
face.
I'm so
Imagine
sorry.
the child that they
It's
would
terrible.
have. Oh, that's so
Ugh.
nasty.
The abomination.
I'm sorry I did this to you, Chad. I'm sorry.
It's terrible.
You know Gungans are packing though. Let's just settle that.
Excuse me?
I don't know, dude. I think they would have like,
Tall and
like
lanky.
a
Tall and
weird,
lanky.
a weird barbed penis that would like unfurl.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it would look like. That would be unfortunate.
You thought
but
about
I
it.
mean,
You thought
I
about
was just sitting there thinking about like, you know how all skinny, pasty white dudes all have giant dongs. Like, it's the girls will know what I'm talking about if there's like 2 of them in chat. But it's like the truth. Tall, skinny guys. It's like you know, like any other stereotype. But it's really funny. So I just think Gungans super tall, lanky, weird. You don't want to see a Kaminoan one. Not good.
There was a guy that I went to boot camp with, and
Internal bleeding.
he was probably like 5'5". He wore big, thick glasses. Looked like he was born prematurely. Skinny, almost concave chest, and just like weak. He looked like the dude from Little Giants, like that nerdy kid from Little
Yeah.
Giants. That was him, but you know, like the 19, 20-year-old version. And he was kind of quiet, kind of nerdy. And the first night when we were all showering, that dude whips off his towel, not a care in the world. And this dude had the biggest dick in the entire flight. There was like Jack's giant black guys, tall, lanky white dudes.
Dudes.
There was people of all, you know, all creeds and ethnicities. And this fucking kid had the biggest Johnson. Everyone was like, what the fuck? And
Going hog
everyone
wild.
just gave him silent respect. We're like, oh, we can't
Someone
fuck with
tries
this
to
guy.
shit talk him the other day, and it's like, or someone tries to shit talk him the next day, and everyone's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up!" That
And
dude
no
will steal
shit,
your girlfriend.
like a week later, he was getting yelled at by one of the TIs. And the TI was like, I heard you're packing, son. And the kid just stared at him. He's like, ain't nobody fucking with you, huh? I don't know how he found out. I don't know how he heard about it. But we all started busting out laughing, which got us
That's
in
so
trouble, and then we had to push up, and
Yes.
yeah, it was amazing.
Worth, just worth.
How do you not laugh at that?
Oh,
though,
you
bro?
can't.
Like,
All right. So Laughing Depressed said, "What are we running for classes?"
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we haven't really revealed what we're running for classes. We
I
have
was
a
just gonna
couple
say,
bounty
we could-
hunter-ish guys.
We could talk about that. Do you guys want to talk about your builds and what you're running just for the sake of it before we start this scenario, or what do you guys want to do? It's up to you
Maybe
guys.
we should do it after the fight, if there is a fight, depending on what happens.
Whatever you guys want to do.
I think after, like, is in one of because like it just more.
Because then they
interesting
can see how we operate, and we'd be like, "Hey, my guy's
Yeah.
focused around this," you know, and
Okay.
blah blah blah. So to answer your question, Laughing Depressed, we haven't even told anybody. This is more of a narrative-based game, so classes are kind of more free form and free flowing.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, where we last left off, well, let's do a little recap. So you guys all arrived on Onderon at Casaltu Spaceport, which is a inbound-outbound port for the city of Izes. It is a few miles north of the city, and it is right on the edge of a lake that is also surrounded by the jungle, just as the city of Izes is. It's a big source of water for the city. And you guys went through customs. You guys had been there for many hours. And the reason why you were there for so many hours, so late into the night, is because you guys found out that there was some gang warfare issues right next to the spaceport, and that there was some gang violence and issues happening within the city. There had been a potential threat to the train system that runs from Casaltu Station to Izes, and the trains were no longer running that evening or that night because of the issues and the potential threats. So you guys, after being interrogated and speaking with the customs officer, got a lift to the city about 4.5 miles away from the city is where Casaltu sits. You guys got a lift from a brand new customs officer, sort of driver, young kid, who nervously dropped you guys off when he heard blaster fire popping off within the city after you guys entered. He sped away, scared and frightened. And as you guys made your way towards the sound of the blaster fire, you heard a man sort of groan and grunt in pain. And you came across a couple of older fellas, a couple of human guys that were sitting on a stoop. One of them, an older gentleman, was aiding another man who was sitting there on the stoop who had been shot in the gut from a blaster rifle. And Gideon did end up helping the injured man, though there was a bit of a shaky standoff at first with the other man. He eventually relented and allowed Gideon to help, and said, if you really want to help out here, take care of this riffraff that is fucking up the town. And as you guys were sort of conversing about what you're going to do, a gang member actually saw you guys standing there. Well, he just sees Nazar anyway, and he shouts out and nervously fires a blaster bolt at Nazar. And that is where we took our break. And what we're going to do to start things off is we are going to roll that individual's blaster shot at Nazar. And that is how we're going to start things off here post break.
Hit me, I dare you.
Okay. We'll see. What is your defense, sir? Oh, let me get
My defense is 0.
Okay, I'm going to get my battle music going here. Battle music, commence. All right. Chat, can you guys hear that battle music? Let me know. I don't want it to be too loud. Is that at a good level, Richie? Oh, it's magic sword.
It's
Wonderful.
funny that that band should be called that.
All right. Here we go. So,
I'm not super far away.
no, it's
Medium.
it's short range. So it's going to be 1p. What do you think? Is that medium or short? What do you guys think?
I'd say that was
He's
medium, because
well,
45.
He's 45 feet away, so you may.
Wouldn't 30 be short?
Mm,
Up to you.
Yeah, it's obviously.
I don't care either way.
all right, we'll do 2p. That's just the start of medium, I guess. All right, here we go. First combat shot in the game. Ah, okay.
God damn it.
He takes a shot at you and it goes over your shoulder. It does miss, but he does get 2 advantages. And what he's going to do with his advantages is actually nothing. What we're going to do instead is we're going to roll initiative.
Am I rolling vigilance? Because I just got shot at.
Everyone is going to be rolling vigilance, yes.
Hell yeah,
Hold on, let me
baby.
get my
Oh yeah. Sorry, we got this.
hold on, let me get my turn order.
Schnez, let's go.
Hold on. Don't roll
Okay,
yet.
we're all nuts.
Don't roll yet. And roll now, thanks.
Fuck you.
Okay.
We've
Fuck
had the
you,
best
asshole.
rolls ever.
Fuck you, asshole.
Okay, you want me to roll again?
Yep.
Are we rolling again? Okay. Okay, I'm still okay with this.
I am too. I actually did better.
I did.
Boo.
Schnaz,
Schnez. Schnez was robbed.
no, dude. He has a 2-1 also, doesn't he?
Oh,
I had a 3-2 the first roll.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first rolls were like the best for us.
Yeah, that was nuts. That's what we get for being ambitious.
I'll take a bunch of 2s though against like
Yeah.
minions
Yeah.
and shit.
Okay. Everyone has rolled.
Hold on. Your mini
Initiative?
group 2. Did you sort that out because you had a difficulty in there? I put it as 2 failures. which is showing up as a 0, 0.
you-
So change that NPC 0, 0 to I don't know, whatever you roll here. Just re-roll their shit. Delete that 0, 0 and re-roll their shit.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I had that 3P in there for some reason.
Just yeah.
Why does it have a 3P?
Is it in your global?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is
hold
it
on.
in your global?
1 second, let me delete that again. What is that, the 2-0 at the bottom?
Yeah.
Let me roll that again. There we go. Okay. So let's sort this out. All right, initiative. Actually, pretty good rolls for you guys. Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, we never rolled that good in practice. I'll take
Oh.
it.
Well, yeah, I don't think we ever got to
me
roll
take a
vigilance in
little-
practice, to be fair.
Note here, give me 1 second. Okay. 1 second. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm just writing down my initiative order so I can keep track of the turns. Because unfortunately, there's not a good system for it. Okay. Mando group 2. All right, boys. So you guys are going to be going first because you guys had some pretty dope rolls. Congrats. All right, how do you guys want to start this off? You
Mind
guys
if I
go first. However you guys want.
I don't mind.
All right.
I'm surprised Del wants to go first, but yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
quick strike. Oh, by
Del
the way,
turns
as you
around.
guys, as we do combat, the players are going to be describing what they're doing in detail. If they kill someone, they're going to describe how they murder someone. And if they use any sort of special abilities or skills or whatever, as we get used to this system and as you guys get used to the campaign, they will explain and read off what it is they're actually doing. So if Al uses quick strike here, he'll explain what it is.
All right.
Proceed.
So Del is going to walk here, and as he's walking, you just hear him, all the impertinent, ill-mannered. I am so tired of this world already. And I'm going to quick draw my my blaster pistol. Now, quick draw is a talent. Once per round, I can draw or holster a weapon or accessible item as an incidental. So it's just very quickly, Del draws like his blaster faster than you would assume that he could. And I'm going to shoot this guy over here.
This one?
Yep.
All right.
And what is my stuff?
It is you moved up, so 1P.
Yeah, well. Yeah,
Oh boy. Okay, so how damage works, guys? The first success is the damage 6. And then for every success after, you add 1. So it's 7, 8, 9. He's doing 9 damage. And he also has 3 advantages. To crit with his blaster pistol, it takes 3 advantages. He does not have to crit if he does not want to. He can use his advantages in other ways, but it is up to him. What would you like to do, good sir?
So obviously you don't have to tell me, but does the 9 kill him?
Yes, he instantly dies. How do you kill him? How does it look?
All right. Del literally just walks up, super cavalier-like, just whispering how upsetting this is, and shoots the man in the head.
Nice.
All right.
And then
Nazar gives you a golf clap.
As you kill this man, one of his buddies runs up and he essentially turns the corner as this man is shot in the head. And you send... Do you want to use a crit?
Sure.
You send a second shot and it also kills the guy that runs up.
Nice.
How do you want that to look, sir?
So he shoots the first man in the head, And as the other guy runs up, Dell says, "Oh, there's more of you, cretins," and shoots the next one, but he hits him in the throat, and he like falls to the ground, like gurgling.
Wonderful.
And Dell is going to then take cover right here for 2 strain.
Okay. Don't forget, guys, to use your symbols. So go ahead and give yourself the cover symbol. Excellent. And as you murder those 2 men, you hear some shouts and yells coming from the right around this building. And you also hear some shouts coming from the other side of the building that sound more excited and more of like a positive sort of whoop and holler as you kill these 2 guys. All right, who is next?
I'm gonna go next. I kind of want to use a coercion check to yell in the direction that he shot to try and intimidate whoever may else be around the corner, because he said there's more.
Okay.
So I kind of want to like run up a little bit and then kind of crouch down for my second maneuver. I guess I'll take 2 strain and do an additional maneuver. And then I will, as my action, I'm going to yell at the people, you know, in the direction of the people who shot at me. I'm going to say, "That's right, your days are numbered. Put down your weapons and flee this place." And I yell it in the most cold, icy voice I can summon.
Not only do you go ignored, but you see blaster fire sort of streak across your vision going from left to right and right to left as there is another group on the other side of this building.
Okay.
Is that your entire turn?
Yep.
All right. Next player.
Question: is there? You said from like left to right, right to left. Is there obviously more gunfire coming from one side than the other?
Yes.
Like lasers?
The gunfire from left to right, there's more.
Okay. Shit. Gideon's going to look at Shnaz and say, "Watch my back," and he's gonna try to sneak up this way. How far up can he go?
Where'd you start? Right here?
About here. Sorry.
So you can get with 1 maneuver to about right here.
Like the corner.
Yeah, like right here.
Perfect. Corner, and I'm gonna peek around and obviously see all these guys. I'm just gonna kind of hold. Can I hold an action? And if anybody were to turn this corner, attack them. Is that a thing?
Is hold action a thing in this game, Styx?
If
Can't
not,
remember.
I
if
think
not,
you did it, but it actually changes your like the order. So like if he was to hold his action and
I don't wanna
doesn't
do
do
that.
anything, it'd be fine, right? He just wastes his turn. But
Let's
his-
not do hold actions then.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm literally gonna
I
sit
knew when
here,
you walked in that you were going
and
to be
just keep
spectacular.
watch, I guess, until my next turn. I'm not gonna act because I don't have any more to do.
Okay. No problem. That leaves Mr. Schnez.
Yeah, so Shnez is going to come basically following Gideon. And as we round this corner, are there any identifying marks or symbols on this group of people that we see right here?
For you in particular, roll a perception check. Because you're relatively close. Roll a 2P. It's also nighttime. 2P, 1 black.
I have a racial skill that allows me to see better. Enhanced vision. So, while making range combat or perception checks, Kubaz may remove up to 2 black due to concealment or environmental factors, which would be like dark. So I'll just negate
Alright.
that black.
Look at you go. Okay. Not bad.
So 2P.
Yeah, 2P.
All right.
Okay, 1 success, 1 threat. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. So how this is gonna work is you try to get a good look at this guy right here, and you lean forward and you actually make a little bit of noise, and you alert them, or at least this guy, that there's someone behind him. And as he turns, you see a little insignia on his coat, and you know it as a Hut insignia. You cannot quite make out what Hut it is, or you know what group this guy's with, but you can see that this guy, in your mind, that he must be some sort of like Hut gangbanger.
So Shnez is going to yell out in Huttese. We're here to offer backup if you need it.
This guy kind of steps out and he says, "What the hell? Yeah. Well, all right. Then take out that Mando scum then. We'll talk after."
So Shnez is going to kind of lean back and yell down the corridor towards where the others are. Take out the Mandos. Leave the huts. And that's my turn.
Did I hear all that? With them talking?
It'd be difficult for them to hear that on the other side of this building with the gunfire shouting out. If you wanted to make your voice heard, you'd have to at least run back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to yell in that scenario. Like, you know, just the best he can, but if they don't hear him, they don't hear him.
Okay. The only one that actually hears you, the only ones are these two. And that actually spooks them a little bit. And this guy looks to Nazar, and he looks to Dell, and he says, "What are you guys with the huts?" And he kind of grips his blaster. And then we move on to the NPCs. This guy is going to step forward, and he's going to fire off a shot at these dudes. He misses, and he steps back. These guys fire off a shot. The Mandos fire off a shot from right to left toward the Hut gang, and they miss. The volleys continue back and forth, but they're all sort of in cover from one another, and they completely miss. And now it's back to the top of the turn order. There's your free round. Okay. Go ahead and continue on, boys. Who wants to go first?
Doesn't matter to me anymore.
I gotta even see what I can get up to.
So Soma, this would be 2 strain, right? To get all, if I could even get there.
Yeah.
But I
That'd
could
be
still
all
hit.
your maneuvers,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
couldn't aim or anything.
I'm gonna go first. Actually, what I'm
You got
gonna do is Nazar is gonna dart across the alleyway to like here and peek around the corner.
Okay. You
You
see...
need to make like an athletics check or something. I don't know.
No. Just take a... I don't even think you need strain if you're coming from there. That's one maneuver. You peek behind the wall, or behind this building, and you see a man in some shoddy Mandalorian armor, and he's got a blaster rifle, and he does not know you're there.
Great. I think I'm gonna take 2 strain, run up and attack him.
Okay. That is going to be... Let's see here. That will be 2P, 1 blue.
Because he has a rifle in his hand.
He is ranged in your melee.
Okay, here we go. 2 purple, 1 blue. No upgrades, no defense, no nada.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. Well,
So he misses, chat, but he has a bunch of advantages.
I have a bunch of advantages, and not only that, I have a talent that I might be able to use
Okay.
called Force Assault.
Ooh. All right.
Now, I can't do anything super cool yet, but I can, like, fling a pebble at him. Maybe. No, not even. What can I do with that? Actually, I'm not going to use Force Assault. I can't really do anything. I don't have move upgraded enough.
Okay.
So instead, what I'm going to do is... give me 1 second here to get to my list.
I will say this: as you approach, you kick like a can or something right as you're about to walk up, and he suddenly knows there's someone behind him, and he dodges out of the way of your sword swing.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is try and throw him off balance. I'm gonna give myself... Is he armed in anything that I can see other than that blaster?
All you see is that he has a blaster pistol. That's it.
Alright, I'm gonna give myself 1 range defense. So like I swing and I miss, but I recover into a defensive posture.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is heal 2 strain.
All right, go ahead and give yourself a little icon to represent your +1 range defense.
Yeah, we'll do.
We could probably do
There might be one for it.
maybe like the ship critical one or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. I'll figure something out.
Okay. Next PC.
I'll put a black dice because he'll black dice to attack me with range.
All right, next PC.
I'll jump in.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So Shnez is just going to kind of move over this way. He already had his rifle out from when they kind of first walked into the group. And he's going to take a shot at this, like that, the Mando kind of in between those two. Yeah, that one.
Okay, give me 1 second. He does have cover.
And I'm going to take 2 strain to aim.
Okay, 1 second. Un momento, por favor. Gracias. Okay. So that will be... let's see here. That will be 2P, 1 black. And you took strain to aim, so 1 blue as well.
Okay. Ugh. Miss. I am going to pass the blue though.
Okay.
Oh, blank.
So he just missed with his shot. He got a failure here, chat, but he did get 2 advantages. What you can do with those advantages, there's this chart here. I'm actually going to link this in chat if anyone cares to see what you can do with this stuff. But if you have advantages, which he does, you can spend them in certain ways, even if you miss. Pending the GM allows it. You know, sometimes the GM will say yay or nay. Another thing that's important is there is a difference between an action and a maneuver. So every turn, everyone gets an action, which is like hack into a computer, fire a blaster shot, climb a wall, something like that. And then maneuvers, which is like run X amount of feet or take cover behind a wall or something like that. And if you take strain, there's almost like 2 different health pools. One is wounds, which is your health, and the other is strain, which is more of like the mental side of the kind of damage you can take. So you're balancing 2 different health bars in a sense. And if you want to aim, You strain yourself a little bit. He took 2 strain to get a blue die, which is a boost die, which helps him achieve a shot just a little bit better. I know it's a little complicated. I promise you'll get used to it as we continue on with the game. Little complicated for now. It gets very simple. I promise. But you did miss, and you pass the 2 advantages as a blue to the next person on your team, and that is make a decision, fellas.
I'll go unless somebody else wants to.
No, go do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna get right next to Shnez real quick. Get real close and say, I don't ally myself with slavers. And then I rush this guy with my 2 strain.
This guy?
Yes.
All right.
And I wanna hit him.
You sprint through a volley of blaster bolts, and these guys kind of hesitate for a second as they're firing back and forth when they see someone they perceive as an ally run through the blaster fire. You will be rolling 2P, 1 blue, and he does not have cover against you because you've just run up on him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I would love to crit him.
All right. How do you kill him?
I want to, with no regard for my safety, rush right up, and before he can even get up, cleave his head right off.
Okay. This
I imagine
man-
he's ducking.
Yeah, this man's ducked down on one knee, and you run up, and before he can even react, his head comes clean off his shoulders and his body crumples. And this guy kind of peeks out and makes a shriek.
As he peeks out, I say, "You're next."
All right. I love it. All right. Next player.
All right. Dell's going to turn to these guys over here, and I'm going to.
Which guys?
He's gonna. The 2 over here that were like, "Are you with the Huts?" and they look like they're getting antsy.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer, darling. They think that we're with them until we can take care of the Mando threat, and then we turn around and clean up the rest. Use your brains. It's safer for you this way. Don't worry. And I'm gonna try to charm them.
Ooh.
Okay. I like that. You can definitely charm him, or attempt to anyway.
Yeah. What's the? You want to give you difficulty?
Yes. So, just making sure he doesn't have anything to counter. Right now, he already does not trust you. So give me 4P.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh,
What the fuck?
shit. Okay. So we have our first triumph. This is the best symbol that a player can get. It is very, very good. Congrats. Let's see here. So, what we're gonna do for that is he kind of relaxes the grip on his blaster, and he says, "All right, fine. You just gotta realize we don't trust anyone around here. But if you say that's the case, then fuck it, just do what you gotta do." And he kind of turns back to his buddy said. And in terms of the threat, you can see that he's relaxed his grip on the blaster. But you can tell that he definitely does not trust you still. He wants to see action to prove your words. And if he gets any, and you can tell that if he gets any sort of inkling that you're going to betray him, he will open fire on you. And he's kind of keeping you in, in his vision, sort of side-eyeing you.
Is that the old man or the one that was wounded?
This is the old man that's standing next to the wounded guy.
Yep.
Anything else you want to do in your turn?
Yeah, I'll move here.
Okay.
Well, here, so I'm out of line of sight of the guys with guns.
All right. Beautiful. All right, and now the NPCs are gonna go. This time, it is not just a back and forth volley between them. This time, they're going to attack the people that are massacring them. We're gonna start with the Mando gang leader. He quickly scrambles away from you, and he puts his back up against this, and he fires a shot at you, Nazar.
He's gonna have a black against him.
Yes. So it's gonna be 1P, 1B, 1 black.
Yeah.
All right, he fires wildly as he backs away. He barely misses you, and he does have 4 advantages. And what he's gonna do with the advantages is he's gonna spend 3 of them to have +1 melee defense until the end of the turn.
You rat
That's
bastard.
smart.
Okay. The next guy is the guy right next to him. He sees his.
Hold on, before you do his turn, I think when he does that as an incidental, I look over and I see Gideon with a blood dripping sword, and a head next to his feet, and I say, "I flushed them out, Gideon. Finish the job." And now you can go.
All right. This guy next to him, he sees his boss slam against the structure and wildly shoot at you, and he turns his blaster towards you, and he also fires at you. This guy has a blaster rifle, though. This is going to be just 1B with his... Oh, 1B, 1P. All right.
Who's he shooting at? Me?
At you.
Okay.
He hits you for 10 damage.
I am going to make a reaction. I am going to use Reflect. So,
Okay.
when hit by a ranged attack while wielding a certain type of weapon that I will not spoil for people, suffer 3 strain to reduce the damage by 2 plus ranks in Reflect. I only have 1 rank, so basically what happens is he fires this blaster bolt at me, and I'm able to deflect part of it, but some of the bolt still hits me. So I raise my sword in a blinding flash of speed, but I still get grazed by this bolt. So it's going to be 7 damage minus my soak, which is 3. So I'm only going to take 4,
Nice.
Beautiful.
That's really nice.
and I take 3 more strain.
Awesome. Okay. Wait a second. If I was going to... Oh, okay. This counts as both. This guy also behind this wall, because this is a minion group, guys. Minions are sort of like the cannon fodder, right? They're very easily killed, but they attack together. Both of these guys shot at you.
Okay,
Sticks.
so what happened is I reflected 1 bolt, and when I did that, it left me open to the other bolt, which nailed me for the 4 damage.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all good. That works. That makes more sense than what I.
Yeah, so this
described.
guy fires at him. He deflects the shot, reflects the bolt away. This guy is able to shoot him with a blaster bolt, though, as he is reflecting the other bolt. Wonderful. All right. Now the Hut Boys are going to go.
My favorite band.
I actually need to get rid
The
of
Hut Boys.
one of
The Hut
these.
Boys.
group.
The
There we
Hut
go.
Boys.
So this first group takes aim at the Mando guy right here. And this time I'm actually going to roll. Let's see how this goes. It's going to be 1P. And they fire. They actually end up hitting this guy right here. This guy sort of pops out, and they both take shots at this guy. He takes 7 damage. It's actually 3. And that is their turn. The next minion group, they sort of step forward, and they fire a volley of blaster bolts at both of these men here. And I think the target they're going to acquire is they're going to shoot at the guy that is in cover here.
Shooting around.
Actually, no, they're
it,
going to
basically.
shoot it. They're going to shoot at the Mando leader because Gideon is in the way, and
Yeah.
they still think you're an ally. So they're going to shoot at the Mando gang leader. Let's see how this goes.
Sick.
Oh shit!
Holy
so-
shit.
The minion group steps forward. A hail of blaster bolts strikes this guy for 7 damage. With his soak, it is 6. So soak is like if you're wearing armor or some heavy clothing. Soak negates damage. So for every
It's
1
mitigation.
Yep, it's damage mitigation. So for every 1 point of soak, it gets rid of 1 potential wound damage from something like a blaster shot. So now he has, not 36. He's got 6. And he cries out in pain. And he also, unfortunately for him, he drops his blaster at his feet as one of the blaster bolts actually hits his hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not.
Mhm.
Rip this guy to pieces.
And then finally, the Hut gang leader guy confidently kind of strolls out here, knowing these guys are on the back foot. And he also shoots at the Mando gang leader. All right. Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to spend 2 maneuvers with some strain. Bam. And he is going to try to take out the Mando gang leader with a strike with his Tusk Beast pike. All right. It's going to be 2P, 1 blue.
Well, unless you removed his defensive, he had 1 black that he
Yeah,
got.
he has
from
a-
And
my.
1 black. Yep, 1 black.
Yep.
He's
has a
also
melee
an
defensive.
adversary 1, so he should have. It should be 1 red, shouldn't it? So it's
Yeah.
1P, 1R. That was a mistake I made. It should be
That's
1R
alright.
across the board. That's all right.
Yeah.
So 1P, 1R. Because he's an adversary, that means he's slightly stronger and more badass than typical folks would be. So a setback dice is a red dice, and that makes it even harder to hit him. And I
Does he-
have just been fucking up and not applying that because I forgot. Sorry. So it's
Easy to do. I've done it many times.
Yeah.
Does he still have his black dice? His melee defense?
Yep. So it's 1P, 1R, 1B, 1 black. And this is the Nikto Hut gang leader attacking the Mando gang leader. Okay. He does hit him for 8 damage. He slashes his pike toward him, and he does take 4 damage. All right. And the Nikto kind of spits at him as he strikes him. And now we are back at the top of the order, gentlemen.
Can I go?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sick. All right. So what I'm gonna do, seeing this guy between a rock and a hard place, I'm just gonna charge him with my sword in Naruto run fashion. No, just kidding. And I am going to slash at him.
1P, 1R, 1 blue, 1 black.
All right. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Do it.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
7 damage.
So it does 7 damage to this guy. So that's 13. This guy falls to 1 knee, and you hear him sort of gasp in pain. How do you want to spend your advantage?
This is a good question.
Actually, hold on a second. What's his health? Actually, you know what? How do you finish him off? I thought he had 1 more health, but he is 13 of
okay.
13. How do you finish him off, good sir?
I
How does it look?
I sprint up to him, I draw my sword, and he like turns quickly away from the guy who attacked him previously. And he's wearing a helmet, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, I can only imagine the terror in his eyes then, as my sword comes down and it meets between the helmet and the shoulder of the armor, and I just dig it straight in down to his chest, and then I pull it out. And he falls, and I wipe the blood off my blade. And just kind of stare at his corpse.
Awesome. And as you do that, the Nikto lets out like a guttural laugh and like a cheer. And you can hear the men behind him also sort of cheer.
I'm going to remove 2 strain.
Okay. Jay, how I have my combat music set up is I clipped 60 seconds of a Magic Sword song on YouTube, and I just have it on repeat. And I try to make it as seamless as possible, so it seems like it's just one long song, but it's just a clip that replays over and over again. And if you chat, let me know if you guys like the combat music. I think it adds a little bit to it. I think it's kind of cool. If it's too repetitive or too much, let me know, and I can always ditch it if it's not cool. Just let me know. Seems fine. Awesome. Okay, cool. So the next player can go.
Okay.
Go ahead. dude.
I will run up behind this guy. I told you you were next. And I would like to double aim on him,
Okay,
if possible.
that's 4 strain. And his
4 strain?
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I hate to
Two?
say it. You
You
moved.
can't because you
Oh,
moved.
I moved, so I'll
You
single
can only
aim. 2
single
strain.
aim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 2 strain
Gotcha.
for aim. That is gonna be. Let's see here. 2p. 2 blue. 2p 1 blue.
2 blue?
Or sorry, 2p 2 blue.
Is that including my aim?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Nice.
So many
Okay.
blanks.
So let me check this guy really fast. So you don't quite kill him. Take an extra strain.
Oh, he has
Yep.
2 pierce.
Yeah, I have 2
Oh,
pierce.
you have 2 pierce. All right. How does it look as you kill this man?
You said he shot at Nazar last, so I imagine he was looking at Nazar. And as I say, I told you were next, I drive my blade through his back and through his chest.
All right. He lets out a gurgly cry and falls to the ground. All right. Beautiful. Anything else?
No, you said take 1 more strain. I'm at 5.
Yeah, as you cut into him, your blade actually gets stuck on his harness as you're trying to pull it out, and you have to strain to pull it out. And it makes a gross ripping sound as you do.
Just to let chat know what happened there, Gideon's using Vibro Sword, which has some like qualities to the blade itself, and one of them is something called Pierce, which for every rank of Pierce, it ignores 1 rank of Soak. So in a weird way, it mainly ignores Soak, but it also, you could think of it as adding 2 more damage if you really wanted to, though it doesn't actually do that.
Yeah, it just negates 2 damage mitigation from soak from this guy's close, essentially. All right, next player.
Go ahead, Chaz.
No, go ahead. Wait till last.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over here, and I'm gonna calmly to the minion groups here. I'm going to, in Hades, say, I am Dylan Tenrell of House Tenrell. I work directly for the Jeslik cartel. You all work for me now. Is that clear?
These guys nervously look at each other, and they say, I don't know
I'll
about
roll
that.
charm or whatever you want.
Sorry?
What do you want me to roll? I mean, I'll do charm, just whatever.
They look at each other and they say, I don't know about that. We don't work for that hut. You're gonna have to talk to our boss. But you can roll a, let's see here.
It would be
This is
charm,
gonna
I
be a
feel.
hard one. It's gonna be charm, yes. It's gonna be a difficult one though. Let's go with 3P, 1R, 1 black.
All right. So first, I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to kill with kindness, and I remove a setback die
Okay.
from charm, and I'm going to use congenial, which I am going to suffer strain to downgrade the difficulty.
Okay.
So it gets rid of the R and makes it a purple.
Well, it was 3P, 1R, 1 black. So
Right.
The
So if
red's
he
gone.
removes a black and then he downgrades, then the red becomes just a purple, and then it's a 4 purple roll straight.
yeah, 4 purple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So these guys are a little
Yeah.
apprehensive, and they kind of look at each other nervously, but they kind of nod and they say, "Oh, all right, I guess, but we still got to talk to boss."
Listen, you work for a hut. You work for somebody that works for a hut. I work for a hut. Go stand over there. My friends will finish cleaning this up while I talk to your lieutenant.
They kind of step aside, and they just nod at you, and they kind of look a little confused, but they nod. They agree.
Kill that last one over there. I say in just in basic.
Wait.
Gideon gives you the dirtiest fucking look.
Did you? I mean, do you speak Huttese?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't shouting, but okay.
Oh.
I don't.
thought
You guys
I
just
thought you
blab
were.
some gobbledygook, and
No, I said,
Nazar's
yeah,
like, all right.
I spoke. I was speaking to these guys directly, and then I shouted out, "Kill that last one over there."
Whenever you say that, this guy actually sort of steps forward with his hands up, and he kind of drops his blast. Says, "Look, I don't want to die today, okay? Look," and he kind of looks at all his friends, and he looks very nervous. Says, "Can we just talk about this?"
Nazar walks forward
Gideon
as
killed
soon as
him.
he does that. No, don't. Not yet.
No? Why?
How sick you might.
Well, it's
secret
technically
attack him.
Schnez's
Are
turn.
we still in? Oh, we're still.
Yeah,
in
we're
the
still
turn
in- so
order.
Schnez can
I thought he was
decide-
breaking combat. Okay.
He's there's just an incidental, and he just stepped forward and said that. But Schnez, you can still take your turn. You can decide what you want to do.
So when Dell introduces himself, I was close enough to hear him say all that, right?
Yes.
Oh yes.
So Schnez has a little bit of recognition in that situation, and he's just gonna kind of stop, look at Dell for a moment, and nod, and put his weapon down along his side, still in his hand, but just down, not
Oh.
up and ready.
I was gonna say the thing is, Dell literally looked at you and said, "Kill that last one." So if you want to, you do what you want. I just want to let you know he specifically was telling you.
Oh, I thought he was telling the minion group.
No, he's telling the minion group to stand down, and for you to be like, "Kill that last one." But you do you.
Decision time.
Decision time indeed. He's out of cover.
So, Schnez, considering for a minute what just happened in Dell kind of taking control of the little hut gang, he's gonna step forward up to about here, and he's got a fairly clean shot at that guy.
Very clean.
So he's going to aim for 2 strain.
And it's
He
just
moved
at the
already.
sort of the edge of short and medium as well. So this constitutes his medium range.
Okay, so
Barely.
2p.
2P.
Alright, so got 1 hit for 9 damage.
All right. Why can't I click this guy? Oh, I know
You
why.
might be on the
There we
wrong
go.
layer use.
You do kill him. 1 clean shot. How does it look?
So
He's holding his hands up. His blaster rifle is down by his feet, and he's looking at Gideon and Nazar nervously.
So when Schnez realizes that Dell was talking to him, he takes that step forward, just raises his rifle real slow, and just one fell swoop, just right through the eyeballs, or eyeball, and he just kind of stops and pauses there for a second, and looks over at Dell,
They'll just
And just
gives
puts his
him
head down.
like a head nod.
Yep, exactly.
Good job.
Just nod back.
Yeah, the man, the young guy, he's probably like 19, 20 years old. He's standing there. The blaster bolt hits him in the eye. You see a smoking hole coming out of his eye socket, and his knees buckle, and he falls down, landing on his blaster rifle, and he dies. Rip, little guy. Okay. So let's delete him out of the order. Okay. All of the Mando gangbangers are dead. There's only one Hut individual that ended up dying, but he died before you guys even showed up. And the blaster smoke kind of clears for a second. I will pause the combat music as you guys have a conversation here. The Mandos are all gone. Bye. And one second.
Ain't no lie.
Bye. The Nikto, the Hut gang leader, sort of nods at Nazar, and he like steps on this guy's body as he walks by it, and he walks over, looks at the guy you just executed, and he shouts over and he says, "Nice shot. Brutal, aren't you?"
Are you the leader here of these men?
Indeed I am. Pleasure to meet you.
Stay back.
What?
Just back up a bit. I'm sorry. We don't know each other. We could do this conversation at a distance.
He doesn't back up, but he doesn't move forward anymore. What's going on here? I thought we were friends.
Oh, of course. And I will again switch to Huddies. We have people in common. Of course, there can be only one leader, however, and I'm going to use Disarming Smile. It's an opposed, so I'm targeting him. It's an action. Opposed charm checks, and if I win, I lower his defense by 1.
Okay, so what do I need to roll?
Charm. No difficulty, just charm.
What if he doesn't have charm?
You can make one on the fly on his character sheet. You would just basically it's based off of presence.
Whatever his presence is, like if his presence is
Yeah, and if he has no ranks, then it's just straight green dice, right? Or you could just roll the green dice.
Okay. Let's see here.
What is his presence?
You rolled a fucking triumph.
Yeah, it's every time I've rolled charm so far, I think I rolled a triumph.
Well, remember that it's tiebreakers only affect the triumph. So this is a tie, but he has more advantages, and he has a triumph, so Al wins.
Yeah, this guy only has 1 success. You have 1 success, and he he says, "Well, who the hell do you work for then?"
Well, as of right now, myself and these men also work for me, and we have no use of you. My friend, and I wave over to Gideon. Please dispose of this for me.
Nazar is cackling in the corner.
This guy looks confused, and he says, "You work for Grigio the Hut, right?"
No.
do I get
Again,
to
you were
act?
mistaken. And I'm like waiting for Gideon to move and like
Yeah,
kill it.
am I allowed to act? Because
Nazar kind of looks over at you and enthusiastically, as a teenager telling his friend to toilet paper a house, he looks over at you and he nods and he's like smiling. He's like, do it, go for it.
This guy starts to back up toward his boys, and he says, "All right, boys, these guys are pretenders. We need to take them out."
Again, I look at the minion group. You will stay where you are.
They kind of step forward a little bit. They don't really know what to do. Is there one final roll, or because you've already...
He had a triumph in his initial charm, so like,
Yeah.
that's
I triumphed on the minion group and I triumphed on him. So I'll let you decide how you want to do it.
No,
I
these
just
guys
want the minion
say,
group
"Sorry, boss, but I think this guy kind of outranks you." And he kind of like turns to yell at them, "You better listen to me right now." And he turns his back to Gideon, who approaches.
I look at Gideon and I say, "Do it."
What's the check?
The check here would be, let's see here.
Am I allowed to aim or anything?
He said he
or-
lose. What did you get for the disarming
He
smile?
lowers his defense by 1.
Okay, lowers his defense by 1, which is hilarious. So it's gonna be, let's see here. Let me pull.
He's
him
an
out.
adversary, right?
He is an
Yeah.
adversary. It's gonna be 1P, 1R, 1 black.
am I allowed to aim or anything?
Sure.
Can I double aim?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Single aim. Take
And he
the
hears you walk up and
strain.
he turns to face you as you do what you're about to do.
Let's see.
Yes.
All right.
And as he turns, I want to stab him. Straight to
Okay.
the abdomen if possible.
He turns into your sword. You do 9 damage. You also pierce.
Pierce 2. Yep.
So it's going to be 11 damage to this guy. Okay. And is that right? Yeah. He kind of gasps, and he's going to actually swing at you now with his pike.
Oh, badass.
Got a defensive
He kind of growls at you, and it's going to be 2P.
Any setback for having a sword in him?
He's going to aim. So it's 2P, 1B. You have defense 1, right?
Yes, sir.
It's actually going to be 2 black. I'm going to make it 2 black here.
Because I stabbed him.
Yes, and it's kind of a surprise for him. 2P, 1B, 2 black. He's also going to strain 2 as well.
Oof.
Ooh. Blank face.
And
No.
he does slash you with his pike, and he does 9 damage. Does knockdown? Let me check.
Yeah, triggers on 2.
Yeah, so he is going to knock you down by sweeping your legs with his pike. This guy is no spring chicken. And you fall to the ground in front of everyone.
I only take 4 because I have 5 soak.
So let me see what symbol it would be. I'm pretty sure there's like a...
Probably prone. There's a prone symbol.
Where is it?
sure.
Where is it? Where is it?
He's freaking swept my legs.
Can't
Should be the
find it.
one where.
There it is. We'll just do that. You fall, you get swept, you fall, and he backs up against this wall and he says, "I'll kill all of you."
Nazar's gonna fucking charge this guy. Nobody slaps Gideon.
Well, the NPCs beyond him are not going. So it is at the top of the order.
I charge him.
All right. Nazar.
Rage in my eyes.
Okay.
I
Nazar
charge
runs
him.
up.
I use my anger and my passion to strike him down. What is my shit?
All right. So it is 2. It's 1P, 1R, 1 black.
Okay, I'm gonna aim for 2 strain.
Okay.
Hold on, let me input that. There we go, and then I'm gonna roll.
All right.
Was that right? Right, cool.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
He
I hit him for
takes-
7.
Yes. So his health is now at 13. And he makes another grunt as your blade catches his arm as he throws up an arm to try to stop you. He tries to block with his pike, but you actually end up striking him in the forearm.
Yeah. And I just hiss at him angrily.
take an extra strain as your blade glances off his forearm and actually catches his pike as you pull it back toward you. All right.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
Can I get up?
You're going to be going last.
Okay.
So we got Dell or Schnez.
Schnez, if you want to go ahead.
Nope.
No. Dell is going to. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna shoot him. What's that? That's a issue though, huh?
What do you mean?
It's high? Oh, what's the difficulty to shoot him from here?
No, you're
Oh.
like 10 feet away from him.
Yeah, this is gonna be 1R. And you said with your disarming smile that he loses a defense, right?
He loses defense, yes.
So because of that, it's just 1R.
Okay.
And you can aim if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim.
All right, 1R1 blue.
I mean, you could double
Yeah,
aim. You
double
didn't
aim.
move. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 1R2
Like, please kill this man.
and add your strain.
Kill him.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
I don't like that symbol.
So this is a despair. This is a very, very bad thing to get, chat. You do not ever want to get a despair. Does happen to the best of us, though. It is the worst possible symbol to pop up. You do hit him for 7, so that's
Crit
2
him.
damage. You actually do kill him. And as you kill him, how the despair plays out. First of all, how does the shot look? How do you kill him?
It goes like it blows right past Nazar's head and again like right into his face.
All right, you shoot
Just
this
a
guy.
crater where his nose would be.
All right, you shoot this guy in the nose. His head snaps back, and his head actually hits the wall that he's leaned up against, and he just he slides down and crumples down as he dies instantly. And what the despair is these guys just saw their boss die, and they kind of look at each other and they say, something's not right about this, and they take off running. And these guys sprint off into the night because they can tell something was not right about what just happened.
Shit.
It's not ideal.
Nazar shouts at them and says, "Yes, run, cowards. If you know what's good for you."
Yeah, they definitely fucking run off. They're scared. Something didn't smell right with that. And they disappear into the night.
Post combat checks.
Sure.
Cool or discipline. Success removes strain.
What would it be?
No, it's cool or discipline.
Oh, you guys get to choose cool or discipline?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, choose cool or discipline. Let's see here. A
Nice.
success gets rid of. How does it work again?
So successes get rid of strains, advantages do nothing. Triumphs act like a success. So I clear 2, Gideon clears 4, etc.
All right,
Perhaps
yeah.
only one.
Triumphs are 1. Yep.
Yeah, triumphs just count as a success in this particular role. Yeah.
Now that you guys aren't in a life or death situation, you guys kind of relax a little bit. You guys recover a little bit of strain, and you guys are essentially standing over a big pile of bodies. And do you guys have anything to say to one another? What do you guys do?
Oh,
I
good
look at
man.
Gideon and I say, "Most impressive."
I get up, kind of rubbing the back of my head. Kind of got the better of me.
I reach out my arm and I pull one of the Mando blasters to me with move.
Ooh.
Yeah, as you
And
do
I
that,
start
this guy's
examining it.
walking around the corner because he's not hearing any blasters, and he sees a blaster. What did you pick up? Which guys?
A Mando blaster.
Okay, a blast. This guy is walking up as he sees a blaster flying through the air, and he sees you grab it, and he kind of like stops walking for a second.
I say, "No need to be afraid. We've done your job for you."
He kind of like clears his throat and he says, "Good job, gentlemen. I only see, let's see." He kind of counts the bodies. Bunch of Mando bodies, and he kind of says rest in peace under his breath. But I'm not seeing a lot of the Hutts. The Hutt boys.
No.
What happened to them?
They ran after we
Cowards.
killed their boss. They
Cowards, all
were
of
so
them.
afraid.
He like steps up and he asks you guys to move aside, and he looks at the boss. He's like, "Yeah, I've seen this lowlife around. He said his boys got away."
Yes,
they-
unfortunately.
They ran. But of course, darling, that's what you do when you're low on the totem pole like that, isn't it? I'm gonna start searching this main guy over here because you said he had a blaster pistol, right?
He kind of says, yeah, well, you shouldn't have let him get away. That was a big mistake.
Yes, we let them get away while we were dealing with those Mandalorians that were also shooting at us.
He kind of looks and he says, you got a lot of confidence, but you got a lot to learn. You made a big mistake letting them go. And he kind of like walks back and whistles, and this other guy kind of starts limping up, holding his side, and they stand here as you guys, I guess, check out the bodies.
Yeah, we definitely will. We'll start rooting through their stuff.
Okay, so there's just a bunch of like common blaster pistols, but on this Mando, there is a special blaster pistol. If you remember, he actually dropped it, and he never actually got a chance to recover it. What that blaster pistol is a Westar 35 blaster pistol. If you want to write this down,
Yo.
does 6 damage, 2 crit. I don't know what's the encumbrance and the hard point. Give me a second.
I'll find it. Find it for you while you go
Westar.
through the other stuff.
Yeah, I got it up. It's 1 encumbrance, 3 hard points,
There you go.
accurate, 1, and a stun setting.
Ooh, very nice.
Yep. So accurate one
Accurate
means
one's
you get a
super
free blue die, which is pretty cool. Medium range, range light.
Lower
The
crit
condition is new as well. All right. So you can.
You literally see Dell throw his pistol aside and put this pistol in his holster.
All right.
Nizar looks at the generic blaster pistol and throws it on the ground.
Gideon just chuckles to himself when he sees you do that, Del.
Okay. You guys don't find much else except for the guy that you killed, that Schnez actually killed. He does have his blaster rifle that he dropped at his feet, if anyone wants that. And that's all you guys can really recover here. Everything else is kind of like beat up, fucked up, and
Do they
it's
have
not
any
worth it.
credits on them at all, or no?
Or any like stim packs or anything?
So they don't have any stim packs.
Okay.
The Mando gang leader has just 20 credits, and the Hutt gang leader has 80 credits on him. So a total of 100 credits. Which is
Nizar will
25
grab
each.
those credits and say, this might help us in the future.
Indeed. Schnez, do you approach the guy you killed, and do you want his stuff, or are you good?
It's just a standard blaster rifle.
So it is an accurized blaster carbine,
Ooh. Oh.
but it is minor condition.
So you'd have to get it repaired to make it really good.
Yeah, I'll grab that.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so look that up. It's 9 damage, 3 crit. I don't know what the encumbrance and hard points are. You'll have to look that up. Long range, ranged heavy. Condition is minor, accurate 1, and stun.
Nice.
And that's really all you guys are going to be able to get out of this beyond 100 credits. Okay. So as you guys are kind of rummaging around, this guy is injured. He walks in and he says, well, Ollie here might be kind of a dick to you guys, but well done. Well done. It's sad seeing fellow Mandalorians die, but these guys are fucking traitors as far as I'm concerned. And he looks back at Ollie and he says, what do you say, Ollie? We let these guys crash out and have a drink tonight? They did kind of save our skin. And Ollie looks at him, he kind of shrugs, he says, yeah, it's your bar. And says, he points at Gideon, he says, thanks for the help. I guess the 4 of you can leave these carcasses to rot. Someone will clean it up. But we should probably get the hell out of here. We don't want to see any other gang members show up. And we certainly don't want to see any more Hutts show up. Or Hutt boys, anyway.
Nizar kind of like, kind of uneasily shrugs his shoulder in sort of a sign that, he's a little banged up. And he starts wiping his blade down. And if anybody's looking at Nazar when he wipes his blade down, I think the light catches it perfectly, and you see this very like stark silver sheen on the outside.
Sed and Ollie
And-
definitely are looking at your blade.
Yeah, and it has like crazy carvings in it of like some unknown origin.
Ollie kind of looks and he says, "I ain't even gonna ask."
Mm.
Sed
Good.
says,
It's best that you don't.
Mm-hmm. Sed says, "All right, gentlemen. Right this way. We're gonna go back to my bar. It's called the Rooping." And he gestures for you guys to follow. Do you guys follow?
Yeah, Dell's gonna follow. He's also gonna say, "Finally, some gratitude in this place, darlings. You are probably the best examples of Onderons we've met so far. Ondarians? Is that
Onderoni.
Onderonians?
And as they're walking down the alley, Sed turns and looks over his shoulder and says, "We're not Onderonians. We're Mandalorians." And he gestures for you guys to follow. And you guys walk into you guys walk into the dark city heading towards his bar. And that is where we will end episode 1 of Star Wars Shattered Frontiers.
Sick.
Yes, sir.
And only 10 minutes early.
Fucking
Perfect.
Mando.
Right on time.
Yeah. Not
Nice.
bad.
Not bad.
Okay. Well, Jay, Mandalorians are... Sticks, do you want to explain Mandalorians, actually? You know Mandalorians better than I do.
I mean, it just kind of depends what your view on their culture is. Like, I mean, they're cultural warriors, but there's like several factions within them. So if one group had determined that another was traitors, they may as well not be Mandalorians. That's
Yeah.
the simple way.
And these guys potentially lived in Mandalorian space or on Mandalore itself. You guys don't know yet, but they obviously do not live there anymore. They do live on this planet. But you guys maybe will find out more about them later. But yeah, you guys walk out into the city streets, bathed in darkness, and you leave these bodies behind, heading toward Sed's bar, the Rooping.
Nice.
All right, that concludes episode 1. And like I said before, we have some shit to do. You guys need to vote on who the MVP of the session is. I'm going to create that poll right now. Who was the session MVP? 1 second. Un momento for favor. Okay. Oh, and it's auto-filling your guys' old characters. Sad.
That is.
Sad.
Rip.
Exactly. Rip indeed. And
Eat a space
schnaz.
stick. I want to see something.
Okay, create poll. The polieth of polieth. Here we are. Here's the link. All right, guys, vote on who you believe the MVP of the session was. Whoever wins gets a free Destiny point next session. Let's look at the results here. We have Styx. He's Nazar, our Sith pureblood. We have Zarian playing Schnez, our Kubaz bounty hunter. Morton Salt is playing Del, our foppish Pantoran scoundrel of sorts. And Rival is playing Gideon, our human sort of warrior kind of guy. So go ahead and vote. Hit it up. Hit it up. Don't be shy.
I'm running away with it. Damn it.
Okay, there we go. I liked Del's ability to sort of sway the battlefield. Schnez assassinating that poor sap with a single headshot was awesome. Styx had some cool moments. Rival also had some cool moments. So this is not an easy decision by any means. But keep on voting,
then-
fellas.
Yeah. Come on. We got 25 people in here.
Keep on voting.
exercise your God-given red, white, and blue-blooded ability to vote.
Exercise your right to vote, gentlemen, and
I don't know.
potentially
You
ladies.
might be from Europe. If you're from Europe, you know what? You can vote too. You guys kind of invented modern democracy. I'll allow it.
There you go. I'm sure we can do better than 5 votes. Come on, people.
Yeah, if not, I am going to vote for anyone but myself.
We can do better than that, folks. Keep voting, please. Do not be shy. If we don't get any more votes, we will have the players and myself vote. You can get more votes if you let me vote more times. No.
No.
Anybody else? It could just be a bunch of people watching from Jay or Stonar's chat.
100%.
So they can't necessarily vote.
I know who I'm voting for, so I'm just gonna do it.
Yep, you guys can go ahead and vote. I am going to vote for... I liked how Schnez assassinated that man.
Do the triple MVP, dude. We all get a destiny point.
I liked Schnez's cold-bloodedness as he sort of drank in the situation, thought about what he had to do. Anyone else want to vote? Anybody else? All right, if not, going once, going twice. Morden Salt, aka Dell, is
Funky
our
Homo
MVP.
sapien.
Thank
Dell,
you, darling.
the funky homosexual. He is our MVP. That means he gets a free DP next week. Congrats, sir. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well
Well
done.
earned.
Well done. That was a fun one. That was very good. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. We will be playing every Monday at 7 p.m. PT. Destiny Point is DP. Or a Donkey Punch. That works too. Or Double Penetration.
Double penetration.
Mhm. You were really excited to say that. Jeez, you just barely can contain it. You just had to spill it out of your little mouthful.
No,
It's hard to contain it with the double
Dr.
pen.
Pepper.
Dr. Pooper. Yep.
And 15 XP.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone gets
Yes.
15 experience points. And before we go, let's go around the room, starting with Mr. Schnez. What, if you guys want, you can or cannot partake in this, but if you want to share what your class is and build and kind of what you're going for with your characters to end session 1, please feel free.
Sure. So Schnez basically was a refugee on his home planet that was destroyed and kind of glossed over. His parents were helping to rebuild while he was recruited by the Hutts. So he took a job to basically collect debts for said Hutts, and he's a bounty hunter, gadgeteer, real fascinated with technology. So look for some fun gears and gadgets and devices coming out of him in the future.
Love it. Love it. And your planet is, let's see here,
It's over here.
is right there. He's in Hut space.
Kubindi.
Kubindi's right here. It's kind of like by itself, actually, on this hyperspace lane.
It's near
pretty cool.
Kessel, though. It's near the spice runs and
Yep.
slaving routes and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, so this is where Walter's character Schnez is from. All right. Cool. Al.
Right. Dell is he comes off very foppish and arrogant and like rich kid like, right? And that's kind of who he is, but there's obviously a little more to that, and you'll see more as it goes on. The careers I chose was smuggler, and I'm a charmer and a gunslinger. So I'm very good at talking to people and pretty good at shooting people very quickly.
And he is a Pantoran. And
Pantora, that is also in Hut Space. Sorry.
Yep, Pantora's right here. It's kind of like a cold moon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you're not. I will actually give you a little cool tidbit about Pantora is they actually have like a lot of rooftop like sprawling gardens all over their roofs. Just just a cool little flavor thing.
Okay, very
Cool.
nice. Rival.
Hello. Gideon um is I don't even know how to explain Gideon. Gideon's meant to be kind of the tank of the party, I would say. The careers I chose was Guardian, specifically the Protector tree. Um, and he's gonna be kind of on the dark brooding side. But as you saw this episode, he doesn't like bullies, so he'll get in the way a lot if he feels like he needs to.
All right, so we have like a dark brooding warrior type.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Last but not least, Mr. Styx.
Nazar, like I said, he's a Sith pureblood. He's from like Sith space, which is kind of this whole area with like Korriban and Florum and Drome and Kaz. His planet is technically like probably here-ish, right on the border of this grid, somewhere in there, but it is not on any star charts because, and here's my fun tidbit, the planet was rediscovered and removed from star charts by Emperor Palpatine himself. He noticed that the inhabitants were a bunch of Darksiders and was like, oh, I can train these people to be my personal fucking elite soldiers. So let's remove all knowledge of this place from galactic environment. So the planet stayed isolated for, other than his minor intervention, for like thousands of years, since like a long time. So this is why Nazar, when everyone else is speaking Huttese, which you'd imagine would be pretty common in this sort of setting, he's like, I have no idea what the hell you're saying because I only know about my stuff. He is a very disciplined person. He has a lot of willpower. He has great force of will. And he also is a student of sort of using the Force more so than using weapons. But he also has training with the sword, as is customary among his people on his planet of Thule. There's a lot of military hierarchical, so you got to know how to fight. Like wearing swords openly on the street is common where he's from, and stuff like that. So yeah, he's just kind of a swordsman who also knows magical powers. It's fucking great.
Awesome. Did you guys all cover what career / trees you guys were in? I think only one
No,
of
I'm
you did.
starting with Neiman Disciple, which is in the consular tree.
Okay, so you're a force sensitive kind of guy.
Yep.
Al said he was a smuggler, charmer, kind of gunslinger type. Gideon
Rival's a protector.
Rival's like almost like a Jedi protector kind of a tree that he's digging into. So we have 2 force sensitives, and then Schnez. What are your trees?
Gadgeteer.
Gadgeteer for now.
Gadgeteer. So he's like a bounty hunter that knows how to
Tinker.
sort of tinker and use gadgets in a savvy manner, trying to get his mark. That is a pretty damn good mix of characters, in my opinion. I think it's a very, very cool group, and I cannot wait to see how their stories unfold as we continue with Star Wars Shattered Frontiers. Like I said, we play every Monday, or we will be playing every Monday at 7 p.m. PT. So make sure you guys come back next Monday. That's the 13th. I will start the stream, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes early, just to kind of get things popping off, allow people to get their digital seats figured out. And then we will start pretty much right at the dot on 7 or at 7. The sessions will last about 3 hours. So like 7 to 10 with a 10-minute break sort of in the middle of that. That's kind of the format. And then, of course, at the end of every session, we will do our little vote for the MVP. So make sure you guys actually exercise your right to vote next time. And congrats again to Al, a.k.a. Dell, our Pantoran foppish boy. who was our MVP this week. That being said, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for watching episode 1. I have been waiting for this moment for a very long time. I was nervous starting it, but I feel like it went pretty well. So thanks for watching.
Yeah. So
And-
everybody, you know, this is Soma's first campaign he's DMing. He's DM'd like some games, but never a campaign.
I did one
So
shot
everybody-
once.
A round of applause. I thought he did fantastic.
Great.
Woo.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Very kind. Very
Get some
kind.
claps in chat. Let's get some claps in chat.
Thank you, guys. It's only going to get better. I have so the way I'm going to approach this campaign is I have the story sort of on rails, just so I can get used to it for the first 2-3 sessions. I just want to get used to the game, get used to being the game master. I am used to being a player. Being a player is fucking easy compared to being a GM. So I do have a plan for the first few sessions or whatever. And then after that, these guys can go wherever they want in this galaxy, do whatever they want. And I will give myself the week to prep before that, knowing where they're sort of heading, depending on how the last episode goes. And it'll just be a big open world, open galaxy sort of thing, and they can do whatever they want. But for the first few sessions, it'll be guided on rails just a bit as we dig into the story and give them a springboard to jump off of to continue on. Yeah. Any final words, gentlemen?
Nah, this was fun. I can't
Had
wait
a
for
great
next
time.
week.
Thanks
Yeah.
for running, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Goodbye.